Well, the day might be finally here. The GTA 6 trailer 3 is, it's imminent at this point. We had very credible leaks from basically a marketing agency that sent emails to their affiliates essentially confirming the pre-order date for GTA 6, which is this coming Monday the 18th, and that campaign is supposed to run for those affiliates from the 18th to the 21st. Now, the 21st is the Take-Two earnings call. So, as I've said many, many times, they're going to want that third trailer and the pre-orders up and running before the earnings call. But it could land today, I think, because if you really want people excited about your game, if you really want people pre-ordering and things trending, a great day to do that is a Friday. It would be a little weird, maybe a bit too much, to drop everything on a Monday instead of the trailer just kind of cooking and soaking up all of the media awareness and all of the top-of-mind marketing. You're going to have people basically watching the trailer and then going to pre-order. And if it's just the trailer for the weekend, not only will people be sort of excited to pre-order the game if it's just the trailer, and that's the only thing really to watch, it'll get watched and rewatched and reacted to and talked about, and that'll happen regardless. It's GTA 6. But that's just sort of my going theory. So I was a little late this morning because I was just kind of waiting and kind of holding my breath. I was like, do I need to change my thumbnail? Do I need to change the title of the stream to a GTA 6 Trailer 3 reaction? Because that could be what we end up doing today, if that indeed happens. If not, we'll do something similar on Monday. I am going out of town, but I'm still here on Monday, and I'm not going to obviously miss out on something that we've been anticipating for quite a while. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and being here, and we are going to have some extra content for you before I go out of town. We're almost assuredly going to hit stretch. If you guys hit stretch today, which is 7:50, we're doing 2 extra streams. We will do a stream this evening. My wife and I will play Directive 8020. We like to play those dark anthology, those dark picture stories games where like you're picking things and it's scary, and we like to play those together. The entire playthrough of The Quarry with us is on this channel, and it's hysterical. We've had a really good time with games like that. But then tomorrow, she will continue her journey in Destiny 1. So I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to nail that today. Thank you to Silent Spartan and Kev, who went a little crazy yesterday. Most notably, Silent Spartan went nuts. I mean, he dropped, I don't even know. I think it was like a 200 on each platform, basically. It was absolutely insane. So make sure that you guys get those memberships going and renewals going to secure what he worked on. And there it is, Joker Quinn, always one of the first in line. Let's go ahead and Han shot first, and so did you. Add that to the day. Thank you so much, Joker Quinn. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button, and The Gentle Killa is going to go ahead and renew over there on Purple as well. We're exactly 20 members away from the next milestone. And, yeah, that's the meme right there. This is the meme for the day. I mean, I don't really have a show open. I don't really have anything to say other than the fact that this is kind of how we all feel right now. I mean, this is pretty much it. It's like, come on, boys. We know that you've made it. You know, we know that you've got it ready to go. It's undeniable at this point. I do think they're going to trot it out today or Monday. I think it's almost unavoidable at this point. With the pre-order dates going live, with the pre-order date, going live on Monday. Now, pre-orders could start today. That campaign doesn't necessarily mean that it's only available, or pre-orderable, I should say, on the 18th. So we've got other things to talk about. Obviously, people are going to be coming in anxious to see if that third trailer does in fact drop today. There are some other things going on. I don't know if you guys saw, but Bungie basically said that Marathon is going to be getting PvE light content next season, and then near the end or halfway through the season or something, at some point, there will be an experimental sort of PvE only mode in there. So seems I haven't missed a beat with that game. And a 5-bomb comes in from the Malice one. Thank you so much, getting us to 710. Good news for Stop Killing Games this morning. I haven't seen anything about it. I was not able to really check the news feeds much last night or this morning. I do appreciate all of the weird theories people are coming up with about Forza and God of War and the Game Awards. Instead of just celebrating Forza Horizon 6 and playing it and talking about how great it is, they have to turn it into some weird propaganda about the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley, and then when you correct them, they don't care. PvP only too. Yeah, it seems like I'm not sure what's going to come of it. I mean, I'll obviously check it out. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference given the current player trends. I mean, I don't know if there's like an armada of people that are like chomping at the bits to go play Marathon now at this point with, PvE and things like that. I mean, it might start to feel like a game that just doesn't really have a North Star. Why is it hard to believe that Rockstar wouldn't do early access? I don't know if somebody's saying they wouldn't or would. That question's got a negative with a hard to believe in it, so I'm not sure what you're arguing against. I think they would do early access. I've said for a while now, a release date on Thursday is very bizarre. Like, letting people buy your digital deluxe edition and play for 48 hours early, that's just the easiest money in the world. You know what I mean? And I know people don't like it and they're critical of it, but it's like, then save the money and wait. You know what I mean? Like, do you have willpower? Okay, well then exercise your willpower. Like, who cares? Like, and I know FOMO and all of that, but it's just like, listen, you don't have to. You can just completely ignore it if people want to play early and pay extra. And usually, when you're buying digital deluxe, you're getting other stuff. You're not just paying for early access. So, if I wanted to play a PvE space shooter made by Bungie, why would I pick Marathon? I think there are so many fundamental questions and ideas and things I want to say. I may end up recording a video about that. Keep your eyes open on the weekend or later today about that. I really didn't get to put pen to paper about that last night. I just sort of retweeted it, and I was like, hey, would this make you guys come and play the game? Like, that was pretty much all I could do. If you guys are just tuning in and you're curious if there is a GTA 6 trailer 3, I believe it is today. I do. If it's not today, it'll have to be Monday. I mean, the pre-orders are literally right around the corner. I don't think they're happy about that leak that happened that has basically been proven to be very, very legitimate. This was not some kind of like game or gag or anything else like that. But I think the trailer is today, if not at the very least Monday. Many people on Twitter don't believe it that they're going early access for GTA 6. I think Thursday as a release date is pretty much proof that they're going to. I don't I don't know why you would release such an enormous game on a Thursday unless you were planning on doing 48 hours of early access and then, everybody's playing on a Tuesday. And Tuesday and Fridays have become the staple release dates, the days of the week that are used for release dates. Like, that's it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it other than if they're not going to do early access, their shareholders are going to want to know why not. Like, why would you leave money on the table? It's super easy to motivate people, to pay that extra $30 or $20 or whatever. Seen the cross video where Bungie's looking at doing something with PvE, possibly a PvE mode. It's not possible. They straight up said it. They said it in an update. They straight up said it. They are literally saying that next season they will be doing an experiment with a PvE only mode. I mean, it's from the mouth of Bungie, so it'll be curious to see how it's received. That's for sure. Fructer, thank you so much for 53 months. I appreciate it so much. Let me add you to the total. We're at 711 on the week. Make sure as you guys are coming in, hit that like button. We haven't even been streaming for 10 minutes, and we're already off to just a ton of you here and talking in a very active chat. Say good morning, put an emote in chat, and just make sure you're always hitting that thumbs up button. Saw across radio, he was reading from the blog from Ziegler. Yeah, I mean, it's official from Bungie. There's no speculation. There's no possibility. They legit said this is something that they're doing. So, time for trailer. Well, it didn't land. It didn't land right now. Forza early access, $120. Yeah, Forza's done early access. They have 161,000 people playing right now on Steam. You know what I mean? Draven says, today would be epic. I'm thinking today makes the most sense. Today just makes sense to me. Like, they can let the trailer just literally cook all weekend. I mean, it can just go crazy. And then everybody's like basically setting money aside and just chomping at the bit. They're going to crash every storefront that exists. Every storefront is going to crash on Monday. I mean, Silksong crashed Steam storefront. Like, you couldn't interact with Steam or PlayStation storefront when all of a sudden you could buy Silksong. Like, the day it came out, they didn't do pre-orders or preloads or anything like that. GTA 6 is going to demolish every storefront that's out there. I mean, it's going to be a disaster. So again, I can't imagine them not running the trailer today or over the weekend. It would be weird. I mean, if they run it on Monday, it'll create all the energy and all the excitement. It's Tuesday. I mean, at this point, they may be frustrated with what happened with the leak on the pre-order and push it back. That would again be weird. If everybody's hyped and you know you want a certain amount of time before your earnings call to get the pre-orders going, I again don't know why you would push this back any further. At this point, I was honestly, at some level, I was honestly surprised. I was honestly surprised that they didn't just say screw it and drop the trailer yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Be like, you know what? We just had this whole thing, you know, the surprise of the pre-order, the surprise of, you know, Monday has basically been blown up. Let's just drop it. I honestly was expecting that yesterday. I was expecting for my phone to start buzzing from text messages to being like, hey, they just dropped the trailer. Wish me luck. I'm going to a trip from South Jersey to Dayton, Ohio, but I can't drive, so I got a 17-hour bus ride. Hope you enjoy your vacation. I appreciate that, True SSJ. Bring a good book or something, man. You know, I don't know. Download some movies on a tablet or a phone or whatever you got. You know, I can't drive. There's no car. I see no reason to rush to order if you're going digital. Well, that was some people's pushback yesterday. Some people were pushing back yesterday and saying they actually wouldn't want to run the trailer days before pre-order, right? If they do that, then that gives people an opportunity to think rationally about it. Like, why would I pre-order a game that's not coming out for 6 months? And I think that's totally fair. Like, I think there are elements of like, oh yeah, I mean, we don't really need to do this right now. So like, if you do it all in the same day, everybody's excited. It runs from the trailer to pre-order. Gandalf brought that up yesterday. He works in marketing. He's like, you know, the conventional wisdom behind marketing is you don't give people an opportunity to think. You want them to spend the money right there. You want them to give you their money, and then that's it. They don't think about it ever again. They're like, yep, I pre-ordered GTA 6. You know, I'm one of the ones in there day one. You know, I also am curious if they're going to do some kind of incentive, like if you pre-order between Monday and Wednesday, since they are apparently looking at doing some type of an incentive for affiliates. Like if you're a Best Buy affiliate, that's what that leak came from. Like you can generate a link and then use that link to make money off of people pre-ordering the game. So it stands to reason that they might do something strictly Monday through Wednesday to get as many people to pre-order as possible, so that they can say, hey, you know, they go to that shareholders meeting and they're like, dude, our pre-orders are absolutely banging right now. Like we have an absurd amount of people that are pre-ordering. If they give you some kind of incentive, like, hey, pre-order in the next 3 days and get blah, 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 blah. Or they could give you something in the existing GTA Online. We know games like to do that. They like to give you an incentive within the current game, you know, to pre-order the new game. We've seen other companies do this. There could be something like that as well, some type of a pre-order incentive. There's plenty of games I want to focus my money on before ordering GTA. And I think that's you being rational, right? You're using like the rational part of your brain. Ryan Gasling with a £5 super chat says, you may have covered it in the past, but do you think the huge gaps between releases potentially hurts the GTA franchise going into the 2030s and beyond? I would look at the money they're going to make and their standing in the market and say, no, they're playing their cards exactly right. Like they're one of the few games and or franchises or IPs that can get away with this kind of thing. Anybody else, this would not. I don't think this would go well for anybody else. You would potentially be causing yourself harm by taking this approach. You would have people getting impatient. You'd have people getting irritated. That's just not the case with this game. And again, I have to think their ability to just leverage the public's attention with almost nothing. Here, I will gift a member. I always forget to set the super chat goal. Every 5 super chats, I'll gift one to you guys. So thank you guys so much, and you can make it rain confetti in the chat. Trailer 3 is confirmed. I don't know why you're saying that. There's no confirmation anywhere that Trailer 3 is today. There isn't. We've got, I think, a very good theory that it'll be today. We've got a very good theory and an inclination that it'll be today, but we don't. There's nothing confirmed anywhere. Iceman dropped Lono. Is Drake the greatest of all time? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't, other than getting bodied, I don't know what he's the best at. So I'm not in that world, bro. I'm not in that world, but I don't know if anybody would say he's the greatest at anything. I mean, you know, it's just that's just one man's opinion. What's the theory that it would drop today? Yeah, they would drop it today and be like, hey, pre-order the game this Monday, right? Just the leak about the pre-order had their stock soaring. So I think going into the weekend, I don't know. I think going into the weekend, they want that trailer cooking. They want people pre-ordering. They want people talking. That's just my theory. I could be 100% wrong. But that's my theory, is that they want to go into the weekend and have just everybody thinking about them and nothing else. Because Monday's kind of a weird time. Now, they could drop the trailer here today. Not here on my channel, but they could drop the trailer and they could have pre-orders running over the weekend. And then Monday, that campaign could start where you're going to see a lot of folks sharing their link. Like that, I mean, that's entirely possible. I was talking about it with Creature on the phone last night, and I was like, you know, it's possible that campaign that like Impact's going to do is quite literally an aftermath situation. Like the pre-orders are already going, and then they start doing that. They start doing the pre-order perks, bonuses, click on my link, blah blah blah. Thank you, Hilly, for a 5 stream streak. Creature gets a call. We can't get a green room. You see how it is. I'm glad that you do. It's important that you see where you stand. That's part of life. That's part of life, B. I was checking out Blades of Fire last night while we were on the phone. Like, we were just, talking, and I was, like, getting it installed and kind of starting over. It still feels really good in the combat. It just is the forging. I'm not a huge fan of that. So we'll see if I can kind of stick it out with the forging, because it is something I think that gets. I think it like starts to come back more and more the more you like, the further you get in the game. So Rockstar doesn't care. Probably won't drop the trailer until Summer Game Fest. So you think they're going to start having people pre-order on Monday and there's no trailer associated with pre-orders? I don't know if I agree with you. I think that'd be a very strange decision to literally not have a trailer coinciding with pre-orders going live. That would be an odd one, in my opinion. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. Bro dropped the weakest album of the year 3 times. That makes sense. The Best Buy pre-order involves a kickback. You think they'd want as many pre-orders as possible before someone has to provide the kickbacks. Yeah, Subnautica, I don't know if you guys saw, man. Subnautica just kind of took over the Steam charts as well as sales. Why would you wait until a few days before digital? Do you think that makes you seem cool because you waited till last minute. I don't understand what he's saying. He's saying, FYI, GTA 6 is releasing on November the 19th, the day before it can be eligible for the Game of the Year awards. Okay, if you buy digital, why would you pre-order more than a few days early? Just people like to do it, man. You know what I mean? People like to do it. Don't know why Metacritic just tweeted it, but hey, that's a good headline. Yeah, Edge Magazine saying it'll be hard for Housemarque to come back stronger than this. It's true. Yeah, that outfit with the whole sales, like Alinea Analytics is being continually proven to be very unreliable. Like, it looks like they were wrong about Silent Hill 2 and then removed all the tweets about it. They were wrong about Yote. They've multiple times now completely misfired and been like, yeah, this game's not performing as well, and then the facts come out and they're completely wrong. So, yeah, I don't know. My gut on them when it came to the marathon thing was right. I was like, these guys have been wrong before. I'm not going to run this. We only ran it because Tassie said, yeah, this is close. This is very close to accurate. And I was like, okay. Euphoria hits differently now. I think one of the reasons they had an easier time being accurate with Marathon was because you had Steam charts. I think that makes their predictive powers a little bit better and a little bit easier. Also, when 70% of the sales are allegedly on Steam, again, I think that made it easier for them to predict. I think that gives you more tangible numbers. When you only have PlayStation, like you did with Silent Hill 2, Yote, and Saros, they seemingly aren't very good at their analytics. Like that's when they start to get things wrong, and I think that's why it's harder to get. They don't have enough data points. I'm a data analyst, and you either have access to real data or not. You can make as many projections based on hearsay as you like. Just picked up Mouse PI, Hades 2, and Metal Eden. Hey, seems pretty Metroid-ish. Metal Eden is not really Metroid-ish. I'm not sure why you're feeling that way. Enjoy it. It's fun. But Tassie confirmed 2-1 Steam to consoles. Jeepers. I mean, that's... Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see if they can turn it around. They've got next season. They've got ideas and experiments with PvE. As I said, would be, something they would probably want to consider and do, and they seem to be listening. They deserve some credit for that. We'll see if it's enough to turn things around. So, I keep seeing these YouTubes on video. Saros not selling well with no data to back it up. Do you mean to tell me that people are running with negative YouTube videos and they're not factually based? That is an alarming thing. I can't believe that is happening. I never would think that people would create content that is that's negative and not based in facts. That's crazy that people would do such a thing. I really think they're aggregates historical trends against small pool of knowns to create a large pool of unknowns. I'm not sure I understand that sentence. Okay, peeps, getting the new Xbox controller. Okay, for my PC, can't decide between two. Okay, so Talika wants people to vote on her controller in the Discord. They are the professionals here. All we can do is guess. PvE needs to have depth, like Witchfire, roguelike, or narrative. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Metal Eden is really high in my backlog. One of my favorite games. My wife and I tried Astral. What's it called? It's taken us a second to kind of get our footing, but I'm enjoying it. Astral Ascent. We're done with Dead Zone Rogue. We had a lot of fun with that, but after about 30 hours, there's nothing left for us to do other than to raise the difficulty, which we're not interested in. And we've been trying Astral Ascent. That one's actually good. It is good. It feels good. I wish there was a little bit better player feedback when you actually connect with your basic attack. Like, that's one thing with platformers where you're, like, punching and attacking. I always want that really, really good feedback. And Ginger Prime is going to come in and say, let's put 5 on the board. And he gets us to 716. If you guys get this to 750, which I believe you're probably going to do, you're going to get a double header. Tonight, Madam and I will play Directive 8020. It's one of those like Dark Pictures games where you have to pick what happens. We love playing those games with you guys. It's usually hysterical. So don't forget to tune in tonight for that. And then tomorrow night, she will continue her journey with Destiny 1. You're replaying AC Shadows. It blows my mind how good this game looks on the Pro. Yeah, the visual lift of ray tracing, global illumination. I continue to tell people. I mean, it's such a good visual lift on games. And thank you again, Ginger. We'll be on the Ginger Prime podcast at 1. Now, here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do. All right, if they drop the trailer, we're gonna just continue streaming. All right, I'll go over there and join the boys, and I'll show you guys over here. But we're gonna continue streaming if they drop the trailer, because I don't want to necessarily stop streaming. And I talked about it with Ginger. He's fine with it. Many people do that. I typically don't. I typically send everybody to the podcast that I'm going to be on. That's what I do. So I'll make that judgment call at the point of time we need to go over and hang out with Ginger and King and Kronos. King David's going to be over there today. I'll make a judgment call. If we're just absolutely smoking and there's tons of people here, we may just keep going in the event that they could surprise us. We're just going to kind of keep rocking. I don't know if they're going to drop it today or not, if it doesn't drop in the next hour or so. As the day transpires, I feel like it gets less and less likely that it makes an appearance, which again then leaves Monday as the big day, because if pre-orders open on Monday, they're almost assuredly going to want to have some kind of a trailer to coincide with it. AC Shadows is underrated. It's a great stealth game. AC Shadows is such a topsy-turvy game. It should have just been Naoe's game. They should have just made it her game. I think they made a significant mistake putting Yasuke in the game. He doesn't fit. I think it would have been a far superior game. He could have had his own game. I think he's a cool character, and I think his fighting was dope, but it just didn't. It didn't work. It didn't flow. Whenever you had to sneak or climb, if you were on him as a character, I felt annoyed. I was like, what? I was like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Prediction. Okay, so GTA 6 Countdown says the GTA 6 Trailer 3 drops today before the stock market closes. So Take-Two stock gets one final push leading into the weekend. At the end of the trailer, they will probably say pre-order start May 18th, which was leaked by Best Buy. And that'll be when the market opens. That's not a bad prediction. I mean, that could be a reason that they don't do it early today. Like, you would think they'd want to have it early in the day so the stock can just kind of go nuts all day long. But they may wait. They may decide to do it closer to market close. That's not a terrible theory. Excuse me. Man, following and predicting Rockstar is a full-time job. I need a nap every day after the stream. This is true. This is true. You need your coffee. You need your coffee, which is why you should go to Reforge Roast. You should go to Reforge Roast, and you should definitely get some coffee. We're selling 12-ounce bags of coffee for $10.95, which is the best price you're going to get on coffee anywhere right now because everything's so expensive. We're trying to move through our inventory, hoping that the global situation and tariffs and all that calm down so we can re-up on the dark. Whatever happened to the Prince of Persia remake? I'm pretty sure it's been canceled. I thought we read... Didn't we read that the Sands of Time remake was canceled? That was one of the projects recently. All the stuff at Ubi. Hashtag ad. I actually do have something that we're supposed to talk about today. And we have a link in chat for it. You can go ! KZ. Is it KZ or KA? I can't remember now. I think it's ! KZ. KZ. So these... A lot of people are moving back to non-Bluetooth headphones, right? A lot of people are doing that. And if you use ! KZ in the chat, you will be taken to these in-ear monitors. And these were sent to me by the company, and they plug in via USB to your computer or your phone. And I tried them out, and I was just incredibly impressed. Because you guys know me, I use like over-the-ear, like noise canceling, nice. I use nice headphones, and then I've got like cheapo Bluetooths that I use, like earbuds or whatever. These are impressive. Like I could feel the music, I could feel the bass. I was actually very, very impressed with these. And they are meant for, for gaming, but I was using them for, music in my home. I couldn't hear anything because they do have the, intelligent noise cancellation. They do help with that, with like isolating sound and stuff like in your ear. I like these very, very much. Now, I did not test out the microphone because there is the clear sound pickup if you are wanting to use them for a microphone. If you're wanting to use it for that, many people might already have like a microphone setup. So that I actually think these are very, very impressive. So $36.99 if you use !KZ in the chat, and then you can use, there's a discount code along with that. Like Nightbot will provide you guys with that discount code. Click on the link. Check them out if you're in the market for them. And again, these are not Bluetooth. These actually plug right into the phone or your computer, and then they go like over the ear. I've got them right here next to me. And again, I was using these in my home. My kiddos were trying to talk to me and stuff. I couldn't hear anything they were saying. The sound was fantastic. Very, very punchy and full. I was actually impressed, especially for the price. I honestly, when I looked at the Amazon page, I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, wow, these are under $40. Wow. So be sure to use that command and link in chat. And thank you to KZ Access for sending those to me. They reached out, and I was like, sure. So turn your mic off and let's hear it. I don't have a way of doing that right now to demo it. I would have. I don't have an out. I'm not doing that in the middle of a stream. That would be a bad idea. I could do that another day, but I'd have to get it like set up beforehand. It's impossible to accurately record and mix music using standard Bluetooth headphones or earbuds. Yeah, anytime I was screen recording stuff, I don't know. Detective Seed says the Sorrow sales numbers that were put out are not correct. They are at roughly 500,000 as of Wednesday. I know there'll be tweets saying you don't know this. You can refer back to my info on Ghost of Yote sales numbers last year to see my numbers that were spot on, because I'm getting this from a PlayStation source directly. I'm going on one person here because Ghost of Yote numbers were dead on, and the sales numbers for Soros are in line with what they want to see. Will be referenced in futures earnings calls. Seeds is kind of putting it on the table. He's saying, hey, I did this already with Yote, and I was right. And he's saying, he's basically saying, receipt, pull me on the earnings call. I'm not surprised. I mean, if he's getting solid info from somebody at PlayStation, I know for a fact he's gotten stuff from folks at PlayStation before. 500,000 as of Wednesday. Yeah, which would be 2 weeks after the official launch date, right? The official launch date was 1, 2. Yeah, that was the end of April. Yeah, that's 2 weeks of sales data. 500,000 in 2 weeks is a world of difference between what Alini Analytics was saying. They never said 300,000. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They put out a post saying, according to our analytics, it's at 300,000. Oh, with a plus symbol. Oh, for Pete's sakes, Paul, it's Friday. I ain't in the mood for your shit today. I'm not in the mood. Don't tell me they put a plus sign. So what, any total above 300,000? Get out of here, Paul. You know, come on. You can just put a plus sign and be like, well, I mean, they put a plus sign. So, I mean, they were off by 200,000 sales. Yeah, 500,000 sales in 2 weeks would be a completely different headline. That would mean that they sold what Returnal did in 2 months in 2 weeks. That's a heck of a difference. You know what I'm saying? And the big headline was it was selling slower than Returnal. It sounds like that's the opposite of what has happened. That's the opposite. If they sold 500,000 in 2 weeks, that's a huge achievement for Housemarque, by the way. And that's what it took to sell Returnal last time in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, boys. The headline was literally, oh, it's selling less than Returnal. You know what I mean? Geez, y'all be riding for these corporations? Nobody's riding for a corporation. I'm correcting what sounds like we're hearing is that the data's been corrected. Like that, or at least Detective Seeds is saying it's going to be corrected when the earnings reports comes out. Are you and Tassie on good terms again? That's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to bury the hatchet with people and move on with my life and let bygones be bygones, but people have to be willing to put the pitchforks down and abandon false narratives about me. You can't keep clinging to the nonsense from 2020. That's dead. That's dead and gone. Anybody with a brain and the ability to watch videos and do their own research knows that was all bogus. I'm not anything that they said I was. None of those people will even talk about it anymore, and a bunch of them scrubbed their timelines and deleted all their claims. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, if I'm going to be on good terms with people, you got to put the pitchforks down, and you got to stop clinging to some false version of me. It's ridiculous. Like, I wasn't who they said I was, and I'm certainly not anywhere near that person today. I certainly wasn't perfect, and I worked on myself through therapy and through my own faith and my own relationships and personal struggles and family and this and that. Like, I've done all these things. Like, so, I'm not actually going to try and pretend I was like a perfect person back then, but I'm nothing. I'm nothing that they claimed that I was. Not back then and not now. The only way I can get on good terms with people is they can let go of that. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not asking for somebody to come out here and do some kind of like public apology tour for me where they like read some document and say they're sorry. But it's like, you know what I mean? That's not in my court. I don't have control over that. I don't have control over other people. I'm being amicable and charitable and kind to folks that, some would argue don't deserve it, but I just don't see the point. Like, why are we going to cling to this perpetual vengeful thing? Like, you know what I mean? I'm moving on, and if other people want to move on too, great. Same thing they said about Yote. I sense a pattern here. I wouldn't be surprised if, again, and Broken Earth drops a 10 bomb and I owe YouTube another member. Thank you so much, Broken Earth. I think the reason the Alini Analytics numbers were, according to Paul Tassi, they were accurate for Marathon. I wouldn't be surprised if that's because they have more data points from Steam to go on. You don't have enough data points for a PlayStation exclusive. You don't have enough data points. But when a game is on Steam and 70% of its sales are on Steam, well, you have enough data points with the concurrent numbers to make a pretty accurate prediction. I think that's why they nailed the Marathon numbers, and Alini Analytics, they were wrong about Silent Hill 2. They were wrong about Ghost of Yote. I'd put money on the table that they're wrong about Sorrows because they don't have enough data points. If you guys want to know what happened with the member count, I'll tell you. Oh my gosh, I'm messing up names here. Yesterday, Silent Spartan came in. I almost said Silent Kev. Kev and Silent yesterday went crazy. Silent Spartan especially. Dropped like 200 members on Twitch and like 200 and more on that on YouTube. Went absolutely bonkers, okay? You guys have got to understand. That's like one person going crazy, okay? Joker Quinn, thank you for the single gifted. That's why we've continued to say this thing only works when people direct support, and that's really, really lopsided, y'all. Like, you cannot count on Silent to do that every single week. That's not a reasonable expectation. That's why I've said, man, we got to get folks grabbing their own members. We're sitting at like 500-something members. If we had, twice as many people dropping that $5 a month, this goal would get hit every week. You know what I'm saying? You guys are just naturally hit it by renewing, and that's just something we've been continuing to work on. If streams with Madam and gameplay with Madam are good enough incentives, that's always been my hope, is that people will say, hey, that sounds like a cool thing. Let's support that, a Monday through Friday show with extra weekend content, as an unlock. That's the extent of what I can pretty much do with the 7-day week. There's not a whole lot of time left in the day for me to do more than I do, and I hope people catch that vision. So, and some people do and love it, and some people can't, and that's understandable. But if you're here, you're liking, you're lurking, you're chatting, you've caught the vision. You're helping this thing hum and run. Thank you, Yanadid, with 31 months. I appreciate it so much. Guess no trailer today. Rockstar tweeted something. I still think, Broken Earth's going to drop another one. Let's add it to the total. He's probably going to do 2. He's trying to tempt a 20 bomb. Let's get the Rockstar tweet up on the screen here. I want you guys to see. And another one comes in from Broken Earth and gets us to 730. And Mr. Destruction, with 3 years of support, says 3 years. Love this community. Thank you for the Member Plus, my man. And we're exactly 20 away from the next milestone. I owe YouTube a member. I'll pay it up in just a second. We got to take a look at what Rockstar's tweeting here. Rockstar says, compete on the most creative tracks built by players in the GTA Online Community Race Series and take part in the kinds of thrills and spills that deserve GTA. Okay. And a single comes in from Joker Quinn. Joke's on you, Joker Quinn. These other people renew and messed it up. Filthy Miami Gamer bumps the line as well with a renewal to 733. Now, here's the deal. I don't think any of this means they don't drop the trailer today. And a 20 bomb comes in from Terminal Stupidity and gets us to 753. And there it is. The doubleheader has officially been unlocked. And now, if you hit the next stretch, it's the Silent Lono stretch. I will not be allowed to talk whenever Madam is making decisions in Directive 8020. We might have to come up with better incentives than just Lono's not allowed to talk. That might be too painful for me. Psycho Hex with 54 months says, let's keep the goal moving. He says, why stop now? Here's the thing. I like the GTA 6 Countdown Twitter account theory. I like it. I believe in it. I like the idea of them dropping the trailer sometime later in the day, and then that stock value just goes nuts right before close, and then they get to sit looking real pretty, and then come Monday, the pre-orders hit, and it happens again. Now, okay, we got to know that was a scheduled tweet. I was just getting ready to say that, Fuzzy. That tweet went at exactly 10 a.m., okay? So, it's clearly a scheduled tweet. They're not having a go at you guys. They're not messing with you guys. You've got to remember. A lot of this stuff is meticulously planned. It's meticulously planned. They've got people in their marketing department looking at trends in the public and trailers and everything else. They have it all meticulously planned. They've tweeted at 3 p.m. before. That's right. That's late in the day. That's an hour before market close. And Brood Witch says, let's keep going. Let's shut Lono up. And a 5-bomb comes in on purple from Brood Witch. Thank you so much. If you guys get a gifted sub from somebody, be sure to say thank you. You're gonna stream till the stock market closes. We may ride this till the wheels fall off today, boys. I believe they would want to drop the trailer before the stock market closes, yes. We are going to do the stream with Ginger. The stream with Ginger is only an hour. I think we'll just continue to rock here, and then I'll make sure and link you guys to to his channel, because I usually send you guys over there. But I think we might just continue rocking until later in the day, because since they did drop something at 10, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel it. It's either today or Monday. Now, here's the thing. You're like, oh, that's wishful thinking. It's better for me if they do it Monday. You guys know that, right? You know what I'm saying? It's better for me if they do it Monday, because I get to have like one last strong day before I go out of town. If they drop it today, that doesn't help me as much. But I genuinely believe there is a high probability of it landing today. I do. I actually believe that. Word on the street is they're not dropping it today. They're announcing that the game is being canceled. Oh my. Holy mackerel. Holy cow. Whew. That was a heck of a neck pop. Jeepers. I want to see the different versions. Yeah, according to Detective Seeds, there's multiple versions for pre-order. I mean, I don't think that was... the people were running with that like it was a barn burner. I was like, I don't think that's that surprising that there's going to be different versions of the game. I'm not saying anything about Seeds. I'm talking about the outlets that ran with it like it was like a red hot story. I was like, oh, there's going to be different versions of the game that you can pre-order? No way. I was like, there's no way, bro. You know? I currently owe YouTube 2 members, so I'll do that. I don't know. Maybe you guys will get. Maybe you guys will get to the point where I owe you a 5-bomb. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. are also common times on their tweets. Lono, I bought one Take-Two stock today for $242. I'm gonna hold it until it jumps and cash in. I mean, do it, bro. Do it, bro. You can make a couple $100. You know, just buy one share and wait. You know, buy low, sell high. You know. I'm hearing the trailer will be dropping sometime between now and the day the game releases. I mean, guys, we've got an official leak in the Twitch chat over here. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor and do that. Get us to 200 likes on YouTube. That'd be super helpful. California lawmakers at Advanced Protect Our Games Act, approved by State Assembly Committee, moving to a full Assembly vote. It'll apply to new games starting January 1, 2027. It prevents companies from making paid games unplayable by simply shutting down servers. Companies must give 60 days notice before a shutdown and provide one of three solutions. Offline version, patch allowing the game to run off without official servers, full refund to the player. Stop Killing Games campaign advocates for consumer ownership. Here's the thing, though. I wonder what do you do with a small company like the guys that are working on, like, the guys that are having success with Far, Far West. Like, if they tell you, hey, we got to shut down in 60 days, but they can't give you an offline version, and how do you let a game like that run without official servers? And they can't ask them to give you a full refund. I would be genuinely curious how you expect smaller studios to shoulder that. Like, I'd love to interview the guys at Far, Far West and be like, what will you guys do if something like this passes? Like, what level of effect is this going to have on you? Because this seems to be a pretty significant and far-reaching thing. Like, there's a lot of small games like that crop up that don't necessarily have themselves set up in that way. And, hey, somebody ordered some coffee here. 2 bags of light roast to Zyber. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mr. Zybersword, what the frick is this? What? Renewal successful. Do we need this? Shop with our email address, creature? I'll have to email about you this later. What the frick did we just pay for? I didn't even know we were paying for that. That's weird. Something with the Reforge shop email address got renewed. I didn't know we were doing anything with like Microsoft 365. Am I forgetting something? It's very possible that I am, but that doesn't seem like something that I signed up for. I need the thick Dominican edition. Well, whoops. Hang on a second. I just muted myself. There we go. Sorry, Discord. Stop Killing Games initiative is going too far. I mean, I think it's right-headed, but I think refunds are a better fight. I don't know. I get what they want. I just think it's going to be strange to see how smaller companies deal with it. Bankrupt and start new company with less server-dependent games. You can't do that with certain games. Like Far, Far West is an online game. They built it to be an online game. It's for future games, not retroactive. No. I would ask them what they would do. Like, hey, what would you do if this applied to you? What would it have done to Far, Far West? As a test case, a little studio like this comes out and makes a game and everybody's celebrating it and it's awesome. And I would just straight up ask them, like, would this be possible? Like, would you be able to adhere to these, this legislation? Is it something that you would be able to do as a test case? Because everybody's kind of celebrating that game, but that's also a game that might not be in a position to do all the things that Stop Killing Games is asking. Like, 60 days notice, okay, sure, I think that's a reasonable expectation. Like, hey, we have to shut the servers down in 60 days. I think that's fair. But being like, oh, and by the way, when you're done, you have to give the game to us in an offline version. Well, that might not be possible with a game like Far, Far West. So their next option would be to create a version that you can run your own servers. So now, as let's say they're running out of money and the studio's having to close down, now they're having to do that. They're having to basically spend more time and money to try to get the game ready for you to keep playing it in perpetuity. Option 3 is to fully refund you. Again, I don't know how a small studio can do that if things are basically not going well and they're having to shut the game down. I mean, that's the issue and dilemma that I see, is like if a small studio did something fun like Far Far West, and in 4 or 5 years they start running out of money and it's time to wind down and shut things down, at that point in time you're asking them to do things that they might not be able to do. They might not have the money to do it. That's why I mean, it's like we might be going, beyond the scope of what's reasonable for every studio. Like a big studio, okay, whatever, they could do it from the beginning, I guess, because they've got big budgets. But even then, they might be like, no, that's not something you can do with every game, especially games that might be like more peer-to-peer, because there's a whole server infrastructure that allows peer-to-peer games to run. That's not like a dedicated server per se. I don't know. The key is they need to build in the exit. Game's already out. Can't undo what's been. No, and that's my point. I'm not talking about games that are already out. I would ask a studio like that, hey, you built your game, you shipped your game, you're making decent money. What would this have done to you? If this would have been passed a couple of years ago, what would this have done to your development process and your budget? Would Far Far West have been possible? Or would it have been like, no, yeah, we can't adhere by those rules, which means that game would have never existed, which then means we're kind of cutting our nose off to spite our face. Like we're actually doing something that would then limit game delivery and, exciting new projects from smaller studios, because they're going to be like, yeah, we can't adhere to those legislations. I think we get like big evil corporations in our mind and we think, oh, that's what this is about. You don't let Ubisoft or big companies like EA stop killing games. Don't let them kill games. And it's like, yeah, but what about, oh, it's email essentials. Why are we paying for this? Hang on a second. I'm just gonna send him a screenshot. Are we supposed to be paying for this? Okay. You ever tried Ark? Way back in the day, I tried Ark, and it wasn't my jam. I didn't like it. Not really my kind of game. The survival games, there's this weird thing that happens to me with survival games. It's like the first 4 to 5 hours are fantastic, and then I'm like, okay, I'm annoyed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You hit like a grind cliff or slope or whatever you want to call it. Incline. Everything kind of just slows down, and then I'm bored. Like the early cycles are really, really fun, and then I get absolutely not. Wonderful. Why the frick? I would have never signed up for that. Why is that attached to that? That's ridiculous. I never pay for any of those extras. I never, ever do. Like, anytime we've ever registered a single domain, I always uncheck every single dadgum box because we've never needed any of that stuff. Arc has single-player, non-dedicated, and dedicated servers. Maybe that's the way to go. I mean, there's obviously solutions, right? There's obviously solutions for companies out there. My question is not, can they do the solution? Like, technically, yes, there are technical solutions to all of these things. So, you know what I mean? A $5 super chat says, not to sound like this, is this person this, because their favorite sport is this. I don't understand how those two things are associated with each other. I don't know. I don't think they've spoken to, like, her birthplace. I don't think they've spoken to that. If you guys are just tuning in, we're waiting for GTA 6 Trailer 3. Yeah, it says here we signed up for domain and email. I don't remember doing that. So according with the leaks, Trailer 3 will drop today. The leaks didn't say anything about the trailer dropping today. Essentially, my theory is that it makes sense for it to drop today. It makes sense for it to drop today. If the pre-orders are going live on Monday, that's been my theory. You thinking she's more Dominican, Puerto Rican, or Cuban? I don't have the ability to guess in that department. 56 months from Detonator. Thank you so much. Let me add it to the total. I'll look into this later. I'm not going to be able to look into this now because I'm going to try and get a refund on that. The key is they need to build it in the exit. I already read that. Let's see. I doubt. Do you think it's possible there might be like gang warfare system? I doubt the protagonists are all involved with gangs, but do you think it's all possible it could be a system like that? I mean, in the trailer, it seems there might be like rivals that get angry at stuff that's going on. Like, it seems like in the one part, there's like a group that's about to face off with another group. I don't know what that could be, though. Is it a rival gang? Is it just a group of friends that are getting double-crossed in some kind of a deal? I don't know. It could, I mean, it seems like it's going to be a Bonnie and, like, right there. It seems like there's some kind of like a face-off about to happen. And we know they're robbing banks and pulling off jobs. That doesn't always necessarily mean there's gangs involved, but like these guys are standing up. The deal could be going south, right? We've got the main character, it looks like here, Jason, right? And these guys stand up in an like almost like an aggressive way, like, uh-oh, something's going south. And then these guys are ready. I don't know, he looks like he might be, because she's kickboxing at one point, right? He looks like he's been maybe boxing. I don't know, but that's what the towel's meant to indicate. And then they're sneaking out and the helicopter's looking for him. Like, there's any number of things that could be going on. And then the police are looking for somebody, looking for them. A lot of people have theorized that Jason could be like an undercover cop. So, you know, maybe they're both undercover. Maybe her being on the inside was them trying to, you know, get a line on somebody, and maybe that's what they're doing. You're working these jobs, these bank robberies, these heists to try to find somebody or expose somebody. I just don't know. I don't know if I get gang war vibes from any of the trailers. It seems more like bank heist, job goes south, and you got like police and maybe other people after you. Because they're running in a couple of the sequences. It looks like in one part they're like in like a motel room or something. You know, maybe like hiding out. They just need to code a patch that they implement later that allows players to use their own servers. Shouldn't be too hard. That's what everybody keeps saying, Solemn, and that's why I think it would be better to like actually ask some studios. Like, ask the guys from Far Far West, you know, in your experience developing a game like this, how easy would it be for you to adhere to this legislation? Now, if you get grandfathered in and you don't have to adhere to the legislation, you know, great, cool. But what about anybody else? You know, Far Far West is kind of having a bit of a moment, and I think it's cool that games like that can have a bit of a moment. I would like more games to come out and have that opportunity. We don't want small studios to be like, yeah, this is unreasonable. You know, we don't, that's not in our budget. So no, I don't. It's not saying they have to provide the servers. It's saying they have to patch the game so that it or update the game in a way that people can run their own servers. So, Sony surprise drops new community feature in the May 2026 update. Yeah, I saw somebody. I think Mystic made a video about this. What is it? Let's see here. PlayStation YouTuber Mystic Ryan showcased the PS5 Welcome Hub's new community activity widget in a video. Unfortunately, it's nowhere close to the PS4 fantastic social features. The widget basically shows you which games are being played the most by players in your region. If you select the top 10, you'll see the current week's most popular games. You can select trending now, and it displays games and modes that are surging in popularity right now. Okay, cool. That's neat. I don't think I would really use something like that, but they probably want that because they want to be able to say, you know, hey, this game's kind of having a breakout moment, you know, live service game or what have you. Which actually, that could be relevant to what we were just saying. That could be cool for a game like Far Far West. Like, if Far Far West is kind of having a bit of a moment on PlayStation, maybe that helps funnel more people into it. We've talked about how it's hard for the smaller games to go viral on consoles. That is something that consistently, we see happening, and we see that consistently happening with games on Steam. It'd be cool if the consoles were set up to, enable smaller games to have those moments on the console. Especially when a lot of the reason some of these games go viral is because a big streamer plays it, and then it's charting on the charts, on Steam charts, and then a bunch of people go and download it. You know what I mean? Like, you go onto Steam and you're like, whoa, what is this game that just suddenly climbed to the top? That can certainly be, a factor in how some of these games just rise in popularity. Seemingly, some of them, it's like overnight. Confirmed releasing today? No, but I've got a pretty, I think, good theory that it could. I think there's a lot of theories out there. GTA 6 Countdown on Twitter has theorized that they're going to drop the trailer today, right before the market closes, so the market can kind of surge and the stock value can go nuts, and then they can hit the ground running with pre-orders on Monday, because the leak is credible that GTA 6 pre-orders go live on Monday. I mean, the pre-orders could honestly go live today, but there is a campaign through Impact that goes live on Monday. And Detonator renews their sub over there on Purple. Thank you so much. Getting us a little bit closer to the next stretch goal of 1,000. I mean, 1,000 this week would be absolutely insane. Thank you to everybody who's made that possible. Silent Spartan went a little crazy yesterday, made it really easy on you guys. And we might have to come up with some fun incentives tonight and tomorrow when we're playing the games for you guys to continue to just go bonkers with support. And we thank everybody who continues to, with renewals as well as gifting. Is Forza 6 having a PC issue? Only 76% positive. I'm not quite sure why people are downvoting it. I don't understand. Not downvoting it, but like, that certainly is not the score I expected to see after the Forza 6 reviews we looked at yesterday. So, as Detective Seed says, there'll be 6 options to play or to buy. I don't know the exact count, but he outlined, a number of options to buy the game. I don't think that's that surprising that there's going to be multiple ways to buy it. Happy for you. I'm happy for you on landing Pragmata 2. That's awesome. Congrats. Huh? What are you talking about? I don't get the joke. Subnautica 2 sells 2 million copies. Forza Horizon 6 player numbers are climbing 164,000. Yeah, the player numbers look great. Check member chat. All right. Pragmata 2. Come on, dude. Stop. This is ridiculous. Listen, I think some of you guys should be banned from being able to do AI art for a while. You know what I mean? You guys should not be able to do things like this. Pragmata 2, featuring the voice and likeness of Rahul Kohli in Reforge Gaming. Why do I have a little baby face with no beard? Why did you turn me into a child? That's freaking ridiculous. Rahul looks great. I mean, he always does, but like, come on, man. What the frick is going on, bro? What the heck is going on? Some of you guys should be banned. Some of you guys should be banned from using AI. That is absolutely ridiculous, Short King. Listen, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to a piggyback ride with Rahul. I wouldn't say no. But I'm also not a child. Oh. It looks too tall to be Lono. That's right. That's right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Lono looks a little shorter than that. Oh my gosh. Frick you guys. You know? You frick all y'all. Can't I just have an innocent man crush and be left alone? You know? Oh my golly. We have a hype train coming on purple, all right? This is a really, really good opportunity for you guys to go crazy and to unlock emotes and to do some, just go bonkers. And we need incentives. We need ideas, all right, guys? What do you want to do? How miserable do you want me to be playing Directive 8020 and then watching Madam play Destiny 1? You know, how do you guys want that to go? You guys could unlock some fun incentives for the next 2 nights. And I don't think we've hit 1,000 in a while, actually. Well, was it like a month ago? I think, maybe. Sony should do as Sega and cancel live service games. I watched Yang Ye's video on that, you know, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of people running with the, you know, the video of like, hey, people are backing away from live service. I had Colin Moriarty on the show this week. If you guys missed that interview, be sure to check that out. And he was basically like, they're not going to stop, which is exactly what I've continued to tell you guys. I mean, he was essentially saying the same thing that I was saying. They are not going to show signs of stopping. Now, they may lower some of their investment dollars because they're going to maybe back away from like doing acquisitions like Firewalk and stuff. So they might not need to spend as much money on it. But I've said I still think they're going to continue to do it. They got a taste of that Helldivers 2 money, you know, small budget, small team, big money, right? They love it. They love that kind of a thing. They've internally celebrated how much money they've made from MLB The Show and Gran Turismo 7 and Helldivers 2. They've celebrated that because that's what the shareholders, that's what they want to see. They want to see that recurring revenue on you know, ongoing game formats, you know, something that can be continually utilized for money, not just like one and done releases of single player games, okay? So no, I don't think they're going to do a Sega. Now you can have the opinion that they should, that's fine. You're the consumer and you can have your opinion and think that, hey, I wish they wouldn't do that. But I don't think you're going to see executives and shareholders back away from it. They're going to continue to take these bets. And you might think it's a waste of money. In their mind, the failure is a part of the journey. They're not going to make these. They're not going to make an omelet without cracking eggs. That's going to be their mindset. Yeah, we might have 4 or 5 failures, but if we get 1 or 2 bangers, that's all that really matters. The bangers will make up for it. You know, I mean, it is frustrating, and Colin and I were both in agreement on this. Like, you don't have your single-player studios building the live service games. Like, he wasn't as negative about Horizon Hunters Gathering as I was, but he was almost, like, conflicted, because it was like, he's like me. He doesn't want Guerrilla working on it. He wants Guerrilla working on Horizon 3, as do I, as does probably any fan of Guerrilla. You know, Charles Hawk, with a $5 super chat, says, what do you think of Bungie adding PvE to Marathon? I think it's great that they're listening. It's probably going to be too little too late, and it's just one more thing that, I mean, I'm not going to keep saying I told you so about that game. It's becoming a cliche at this point, but I'm like, yeah, I told y'all, like, this is going to have to be something they would entertain and do, and I started looking at Joe Ziegler's tweets, and I said, they are going to add PvE to this game. He's making it obvious that they're willing to evolve the game. You don't use that kind of language unless you're going to do significant things. So I think the PvE aspect is likely going to be too little too late. It also feels like another I told you so that I just don't really feel like saying. You know, I'll check it out. The pure PvE mode's not even going to be at the beginning of the season. It's going to be like in the midway or near the end or something. So I think some of that is they want to ease into it. They want to ease into it, so they're going to do PvE light and then full PvE. Now, that could be because maybe they're just egotistical about it. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. Like, the leadership doesn't want to admit, yeah, you know, our internal staff told us that we should do PvE for years, and we freaking ignored them. And the public said we should add PvE, and we told them, well, this isn't the game for them. And now you have to kind of, like, slowly be like, oops-a-daisy, maybe we were wrong about this. So they're going to, like, slowly implement it. They also have an established core base that's very, very ravenous about the game, and they're going to be angry about this. And so they have to kind of ease into it. Why is Gran Turismo not on PC or other platforms? I thought Sony was going to put live service games on everything. Gran Turismo 7 came out, I think, before that plan was really put into full motion, mediocre, Milton. I think that's a fair question. There were also rumors that there was a Gran Turismo 7 port that was canceled, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if Gran Turismo's live service format necessitates being on multiple platforms. Games where you have like matchmaking integral to the experience, like a Helldivers or like a Marathon or a Concord, those are certainly games that you want everywhere. Like, you're matchmaking dependent. The minute you have a funnel that is matchmaking dependent, you're in a different category altogether. Right? Like, they might look at GT7 and be like, this really isn't matchmaking dependent. We don't want to put this on PC. Maybe they did, and maybe they changed their mind. Maybe the projections were bad. I don't know. I really don't have a good answer, other than it could be in their mind in a different category. When you make a Marathon or a Concord or a Helldivers, it's far more matchmaking dependent than GT7. MLB is console only. It's not on Steam. That could be a licensure issue. That could be an MLB issue. Maybe they don't want it on PC because of piracy or cheating. Again, I'm not sure why that one isn't on PC either. That could come down to the license agreement. I don't know how much PlayStation calls the shots there. I think a lot of that is dictated and determined by that's dictated and determined by the property owner, the IP owner. You know, MLB might be calling the shots. Again, I don't have any information on it. I'm just speculating. It didn't start out as live service, and it sold systems to casuals. Lona, where's the trailer you mentioned in your topic today? What are you talking about? So far, 2026 has been S for games. Like S tier? Yeah, this has been an amazing year for games. I agree with you. I think GT and MLB move a lot of consoles. I don't think PlayStation wants to move them. That's a decent theory that, like, they're big pieces of property, you know, GT especially. Gran Turismo 7 has been insanely successful. So... What is this? What are you guys talking about in the Discord? Per a press release sent to PC Gamer, open media link. What do we have here? Peak concurrent players across Steam and Epic Games Store and Xbox exceeded 651,000, with Steam alone reaching a peak of more than 467,000 concurrent players. This marks approximately 9 times the all-time peak concurrent player count with the original Subnautica, which launched in 2018. Are you guys talking about Subnautica's player numbers? Still missing S tier generational game though. This. I mean, the S tier generational game this year is probably going to be GTA 6. I mean, this is going to be a generation defining game, I think, and I think they know that. I think they understand how much is riding on this game, not just for the money, but for the prestige and the reputation. I really don't. I don't think it's lost on them. It's pretty significant what this game could be. I think GT isn't PC because of the car licensing. Yeah, it could get really complicated with the car licensing. Like, that's why some games have to get delisted. Like, they can't sell them anymore. You can continue to play them, but they can't sell them anymore because the licensing and all that expires. What time supposedly would the trailer drop? Obviously, since it didn't drop at 9, 9:30, 10, or 10:30, the thought now is they're going to drop it later in the day before the stock market closes. That's like the other current theory going around. I didn't do a waiting room today. I just asked the question, like, GTA 6 trailer 3 today, question mark. If it doesn't do today, we'll probably do a waiting room on Monday. I don't see how they don't drop the trailer on Monday. It's like, if the pre-orders are going live that day, the only thing I could see them doing is being spiteful about it and being like, no, we're going to push it back a day because of the leak. The problem with doing that is that shrinks the window of time for pre-orders before the earnings call, and I don't think they're going to do that. That would be an emotional decision and not a business decision. I don't think they're going to do that. They're probably not happy about the leak. But I cannot see them not maximizing pre-orders before the earnings call. I think there's a reason that that leak, the PlayStation thing that leaked, I'm sorry, not PlayStation, the Best Buy thing that leaked, it was a campaign for affiliates to push the pre-order link starting on the 18th and running to the 21st. And the 21st is literally the day of the earnings call. So I don't see them being like, oh yeah, let's not do it. It's either today or Monday. It's the trailer drops today or Monday. I can't see it any other way. For them to forego trailer and pre-orders until after the earnings call, the shareholders would be freaking livid because you had a leak about pre-orders. The share value took like a $15 jump yesterday. Okay? It took a $15 jump. I can't see them going into the earnings call and being like, oh yeah, we haven't opened up pre-orders yet and we haven't pushed out the next trailer yet. I think the shareholders would be like, what are you doing? Is it coming out this year or not? Like, I think that's why I feel like a lot of my predictions about this was that I don't have the exact date. I don't have inside information, but I think they want trailer 3 and pre-orders to go live before the earnings call because there were numerous times that Strauss Zelnick assured these guys, he assured the shareholders that the game was coming out and that it was good, and then it didn't. He said they were very confident in the fall of 2025 window for delivery. He said it multiple times to the shareholders. The shareholders were given assurances that that fiscal period would have an influx of cash in relation to GTA 6. Didn't launch. Then they delay it out of May of 2026 to November of 2026. Homie's out here making jokes about people taking that day off in November. I'm here to tell you, he wants to be able to walk into that earnings call next week and say, we dropped the trailer. Pre-orders have been going for 72 hours. Here are our current early estimates. We're ready. We're off to the races already. And the shareholders will be very happy. You know, he's been doing interviews, as Davis in chat is saying. Strauss has been doing interviews. A week after the earnings call, he's going to be on a fireside chat. We have rumors starting to come to the surface about a PlayStation State of Play, and that PlayStation's going to be involved in the marketing and have bundles and things like that. It's getting ready to happen. I've always said this about leaks. In the gaming world, the minute you start getting into your marketing funnel and you start dealing with marketing companies and marketing campaigns, that's when the leaks begin. And those are the most reliable leaks. Right? Those are the most reliable leaks. Because, hey, more people are seeing it. More people are getting their hands on it. That's generally how this thing goes. This guy says, if you're behind on your mortgage, just say so instead of clickbaiting. If you lack the ability to read thumbnails and titles because you're too stupid, maybe you could just tell us that instead of saying I'm clickbaiting. Is it hard for you to read? You know what I mean? I mean, did you have your mom type that for you? It clearly is posing the question that the trailer might come today. You know what I mean? If you're too stupid to read a thumbnail and a title, maybe the internet's not the best place for you. Yeah. It says might, you redacted. Yeah, the insult's so good you have to redact it. Why would anyone pre-order a game 6 months before launch unless they are getting a physical copy? You're asking a logical question. It's not a logical decision. It's an exciting decision. People do it because of the hype. People do it because they want to be involved. People do it for the same reason they're scouring the internet right now for clues and breadcrumbs, and they want to see the trailer as soon as it hits. That's what they want to see. They want to be a part of the action. Listen, guys like that are coming in and just self-reporting, right? I mean, you know what I mean? They're just self-reporting that they're in their feels and they're emotional right now. They're upset. And the reason they're upset is people are looking forward to it. People want to see the next trailer. People want to see, people want to see gameplay. people want to see gameplay. They're like, hey man, we want to know what's going on. We want to know when this thing's gonna. When are we gonna be able to see some details? We want to see, when's this thing gonna pop off here? Like, and they're people are understandably getting frustrated at the silence and the lack of information. I think that's generally fair, but it's also weird to take it out on streamers that are just like waiting for it to drop like everybody else. Like, we're not doing anything different than the public. We're waiting for it to drop. We're like, it could be today. Off just a leak. He can say, see investors, we have such a massive game, even a leak caused the stock to rise. That's not something you would say in an earnings call. If an earnings call is saying, is the game coming this year? I think he wants to be able to say more than, yes, we're confident that it's coming this year, because he said that before. He has said that before. Like, you go in with 72 hours of pre-order numbers and projections. That's pretty significant. To catch you up on the Discord conversation, some outlets are saying Subnautica sold 2 million units according to the devs. Meanwhile, when we go and look at the official dev post or the official sub 2 accounts, they have yet to say 2 million units. It says, it seems like media outlets spiral, all referencing itself over and over without showing proof of something from the devs. So we were using our collective Discord brain cell to figure out why only a couple of outlets are saying 2 million units. Yeah, I mean, I thought it came from the devs because every headline said that the devs had said it. So I didn't. That doesn't. What's crazy about that is that doesn't seem like something you would feel the instinct to fact check. Like, why would an outlet just flat out lie and be like, yeah, the devs said they sold 2 million units. And you're like, I better go fact check this. People want to know what they 100% got. That's right. Buy it now so not competing with holiday drops and winter expenses. That's right. If you've got the money for it now and you secure that purchase, you don't have to worry about the fact that maybe money's a little tight around Christmas time. Joker Quinn with a $5 super chat says, do you think the lack of gameplay footage is a concern for performance? Given when these trailers dropped, right? The one we just watched is now 2 years old. And the other one is like what? A year old? Yeah. A 1-year-old trailer and a 2-year-old trailer. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that you are. I think the concern is over frames per second, obviously, but I think in general, I don't think super concerned about performance. Donkey Sausage with 6 months over there on Purple. Thank you so much. I want it to release early. We'll be glad after 3 to 4 months pass and it finally stops being a daily topic everywhere. I mean, it's not been a daily topic until this last week. And then obviously when it comes out, it'll be a daily topic. It's unavoidable. It's an eclipsing game. It's gonna kind of blot out the sun a little bit. It's just the nature of it. It's just the nature of it. Check members chat. I don't know if it's real, but something, I guess. Have you seen this clip? GTA 6 trailer 3 gameplay leak. That's AI. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that that's AI. Because that guy tweeted that 3 days ago. It only has 58,000 views. If that was real, that'd be gone. Yeah. If that was real gameplay footage, that would be gone. That's if it was like 3 minutes old, I'd be like, okay, keep an eye on it. The fact that the tweet is 3 days old, no. Anybody claiming to leak actual footage of GTA 6, like, their account would be nuked from orbit within, I don't know, probably 10 minutes to an hour of them posting it. They had 500,000 concurrent players on Steam alone the first hour. 2 million sales already doesn't sound remotely unlikely. I don't think people are questioning the likelihood of the sales total, Solemn. I think people are questioning why outlets are claiming that the devs said they sold that many when the devs haven't said that. Like, I don't think people are like, there's no way. I mean, like, as you say, we can look at the player numbers and extrapolate an approximation of sales total. But to be like, yep, the devs said they sold 2 million, and the devs are like, we never said that. Like, they're not coming out and saying they didn't say it, but nobody can find a place where they actually said it. You know, what an epic username. Oh, you're probably talking about Donkey Sausage. That's right. Do you think there will be 2 or 3 tiers of pre-ordering? I would love an Ultimate Edition with a physical map like back in the day. I could definitely see them doing Ultimate Editions, Collector's Editions, Digital Deluxe Editions. I could see them doing Early Access. Yeah, there's a number of things that I could see them doing, for sure. A lot of people aren't sure if they'll do the Early Access thing. Somebody said... I think it was like yesterday, they were like, they've never done early access. And I was like, okay, that's fair, but the early access like wasn't a thing 8 years ago when Red Dead came out, at least not that I was aware of. And, you know, when the last GTA came out, there was definitely nobody doing early access. So, I don't think that's necessarily a pattern that we can deduce. If you guys are enjoying the coverage, by the way, and enjoy hanging out today on the channel, on the stream, be sure to hit the like button. We would love to see that like count get to 300 likes. There's a ton of you here right now. And obviously we're waiting for GTA 6 Trailer 3 any day now, with the pre-orders going live on Monday for all intents and purposes. Unless you were going to specifically talk about the games that I care about, says S3 Plan. I don't know what else you would talk about if it's not GTA. Well, and this is a problem in general with variety gaming coverage. We like to cover different things. I don't like to get on one note and kind of stay on that note for a couple of days. But the problem is, it's kind of unavoidable. If everybody's talking about it, it affects the platforms, it affects the funnel of videos, it affects what the public is talking about and caring about, right? And then that's, if you're not talking about that, no one's gonna care to come and listen to you. Also, when that starts to happen, other companies, they go quiet. Nobody wants to market their stuff. Nobody wants to talk, market, and discuss their stuff while some other game is kind of blocking out the sun and eclipsing the marketing funnel, right? We live in an attention economy, and if all the attention is on X game, you're going to have a really, really hard time getting everybody's attention. That I think is the general problem. You know, you're dealing with a funnel of information that will get adjusted in accordance to the fact that, like, who the frick wants to talk right now? Did GTA or Red Dead gameplay underperform for their time? I don't think they did. I don't think anybody would say that they did. Only issue I have with GTA is that they said it wasn't coming to... GTA 5. It said it wasn't coming to Xbox PS4 when it released. Then a year or so later, it released on them. They lied to players, so they bought it on 360 and PS3. It's possible that at the time they didn't even know it was possible. I mean, you're assuming that was the plan all along, but they might not have even thought it was possible. I wasn't around in variety coverage back then, so I don't really know what happened. You think they had a budget edition that's $40 for $60, and it's simply a single-player campaign? I don't know what you're talking about. Do you think they have a budget edition that's $40 for $60, and it's simply a single-player campaign? I really I cannot make heads or tails of what you're trying to say. You can't do a traffic report when Godzilla is walking through the city. This is true. If there was a big announcement about something else, we'd be talking about that. And that's generally not happening. You know what I mean? Why is Forza 6 getting cooked on Steam? I don't know. I don't know what are there theories about what's going on there? It is strange to see it get absolute, like, dominant review standing with the outlets and then not do so hot on Steam. It is a 77%. Total reviews in all languages is mixed. Yeah, it has a 63% if you remove your language. If we go review type negative, Yeah, this could be a localization problem. Let's see. Paying extra is unfair. The early access version is worse than the pirated version. The game wouldn't open at first. After starting it, it would jump back to the state where it had launched. The fact that it's a pirated release and that people have to pay for the premium version of the Joker deserves a bad review. This is my first time pre-ordering a game and also the first time I've directly purchased the most expensive version. I never expected to be ripped off twice. First, due to leaked files, the game was obtained and leaked before its official release. Then, the open preload had a bug and allowed some standard edition players to directly enter the game. The official response was simply to ban those who leaked the game, offering no compensation to legitimate players. So it looks like folks are really, really upset. I'm reading micro stutters. Oh, there's also micro stutters. The stupid Microsoft Premium Edition became the top tier version, and now it's being ridiculed and mocked by pirates. The outdated 30 FPS cutscenes and choppy character models remain unchanged, and the city landscapes are as low quality as the textures. What the heck is going on? The graphics are inconsistent. Microslop with the prices you get ahead of yourself. Getting 100 FPS, but constant micro stutters. This person says with almost 2 hours in the game. Microsoft account login required. Offline play only works after you've logged in online. Ironic. The game wouldn't launch at first. The cutscenes are something like out of a 720p game. Playing at the highest default settings, the graphics were jagged and unwatchable, like stepping back into 2016. Turns out I had to manually increase the game settings, which made it okay afterward. What else is there to say? I just got the premium Joker package and get a refund. First of all, as a racing game, there's no doubt that the scenery and the gameplay are fantastic with beautiful landscapes, excellent sound, and great physics. However, the initial pre-order price in Pakistan Premium Edition was only USD 38. The unencrypted game base was leaked, allowing players to start playing a few days early. This is kind of weird. This seems weird to be, a lot of those reviews are negative because the game got leaked? Like, what does that have to do with the game that you bought? Every single video testing performance is glowing. Gamers are weird. Yeah, I don't know about all of that. We had two reviews bring up performance. Every other review that we read was like angry that the game leaked. Why would you review the game negatively because it leaked? That has nothing to do with the game's quality. That's stupid. People use reviews to air their grievances rather than talk about the game. Like, what's the game leaking have anything to do with the fact that you paid premium price for early access? That's what you paid for as a consumer, and that's what you got. Who cares if people leaked it and got to play early? That has nothing to do with your relationship to the company and your purchase. Yeah. Anybody trying to run with the narrative that, like, Forza has a bad user score, you know, it's not a good game. Go read the reviews. Those reviews have nothing to do with the game. Seems like a bunch of whining about something that has nothing to do with the quality of the game. Whales are mad they paid money for the preview playing early. Yeah, they're mad because they paid to play early and cheaters, hackers, or whatever you want to call them got to play early. Like, what the heck? If the poor's got it too, then I'm not special. They did say the version they paid for is worse than the pirated version. Don't brushstroke. I'm not brushstroke. One, maybe two people said that. Why is it worse than the pirated version? Why? What's wrong? Why is the pirated version better? I saw like one, maybe two people say that. And then what's wrong with the launch version versus the pirated version? He didn't explain. Yeah, I didn't see an explanation offered. They just claimed it. We're also dealing with a translation. That was Japanese, and I had my browser translate it to English. I mean, that doesn't mean that that's like a legitimate translation. It looks like Unknown Worlds Entertainment sent a press release out to multiple places. More extended gameplay of Exodus. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight releases. Hey dog, I'm on. I believe the last zone for Pragmata have been busy, and yeah, you were right. Game is absolutely a gem. Definitely my favorite game of the year so far. I knew you would like it, Wheezy. I knew you would like it. Like after I rolled credits, like I knew. I was like, people are just gonna. People are vibing. People are absolutely vibing with that game. It's just like I said, it's the best new IP I've played since like Returnal and Expedition 33. Like as far as new IPs this gen, Pragmata is up there. So it's such a great game. Trill Troll with 47 months in VIP. Steam users are using reviews as a way to virtue signal about something not related to the game. This must be a first. Thank you so much. Let me add you to the total. 763. Record-breaking week, guys, as we scream towards the next milestone. You guys are incredible. There'll be a stream tonight. Madam and I will play Directive 8020. It's like one of those dark pictures games where it's scary and you have to pick different things to do. We love playing those games with you guys. And then a double header. We're going to be doing, she's going to continue playing through her Destiny 1 playthrough tomorrow, which has been hysterical. Don't miss it. Would you count Saros as a new IP? I mean, I kind of would, but I wouldn't count it as a new IP the way I would count, like, Returnal as a new IP. Like, that's like saying Elden Ring's a new IP. And it's like, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's a new IP, but it's built on basically all of the Dark Souls, systems. They just did an incredible job taking that system and style into an open world environment. But they could have easily called Elden Ring Dark Souls 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, Saros is a new IP, but it also kind of isn't a new IP. Just to clarify, I sent the Exodus clip because at the end of the clip they said they were getting extended gameplay in June. Oh, there's extended gameplay in June. Thank you. Pretty exciting. Yeah, that game, Exodus, is heating up. It seems like they're releasing quite a bit pretty regularly. There are some that are saying that they can't launch. I don't know the full premise. Yeah, I mean, again, most of the ones we read, 10, we read 10 reviews, 7 or 8 of them were like, angry about the game getting leaked. Like, that's not a reason to give a game a bad score. Is she a Warlock, Titan, or a Hunter? I believe we put her on, she's on a Warlock, I believe. I'd say those are new IPs. I don't really care to debate it. To me, they're not new IPs. Like, when I think of new IPs, I think of Returnal. I think of Pragmata. I think of Expedition 33. I don't look at Saros and Elden Ring and feel like, yeah, these are new IPs. It's like when virtually all of your combat movement systems and like, your ground level foundations are from a previous game, it doesn't feel like a new IP to me. I'm not saying it's not. It is technically a new IP. I just don't think in the grand scheme of like wanting to heap praise, on a game that's new and ambitious. I look at Returnal, I look at Pragmata, like I look at those and I'm like, yeah, these are solid. These are amazing new IPs. Yeah, Stellar Blade is a brand new IP. What does your creative mind and imagination think about for a 4th class in Destiny 3? What do you think it would look like? What could they do? I mean, you have your Titan, your Warlock, and your Hunter. I honestly don't know. You'd almost have to go in the direction of a Guardian that everything centers around the guns, maybe, as opposed, I don't know. It'd be really, really hard because like they're all so distinct in their own way. But like maybe a Guardian that like is more centered around the guns and empowering and buffing the guns themselves, as opposed to having like defensive or offensive supers. They'd have something to do. It had something to do with the guns themselves, So playing with them would be vastly different. The dilemma you're going to run into anytime you do anything like that is like you make a class that's like OP. An assault class? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It would have to be some kind of support. We already have Rogue, Warrior, and Mage. The problem with support is there's so much already taken. The Warlock with the Well of Radiance was historically always pretty big, like, practically required support. It's... And then you had, like, the Titan bubble. So, again, I think it gets tough. It gets tough. In a similar fashion, Tilu is a new IP in regards to Uncharted. What did I miss? Disappointment. Disappointment and more patience required. Will it drop today? The only theory I have about a later in the day trailer that I find somewhat convincing is that they might try to drop the trailer with they might try to drop the trailer with like an hour or two before the market closes, so that way the stocks can kind of take a bit of a surge, and then Monday pre-orders go live. If the trailer doesn't go live today, I think it goes live Monday, because their stock is already climbing once again. You know, it's been what? Let's see here. It's been a day. Yeah, it's still on a rise after the leak. So I think 007 First Light will be good. 007 First Light is an interesting game to me because 007 First Light looks better every time they show it. Yeah, it looks better every time they show it. Usually games kind of go in the other direction. Hang on a second. This should be signed in on page 2. Hang on. Bring it here. Let me check. We've got like tax documents that have to be filed, and it's always like sign this and sign that, and I'm like, huh? Is it possible the GTA 6 leak was intentional on Rockstar's behalf? I'll be honest with you. This does not feel like a planned leak. This does not feel like a planned leak. It was too weird. Okay, it says, yeah. Sign in date, page 2. Okay, this is page 2. Where? Are there other pages with places to sign? Federal? No. There is no filing extension for this return. Just let me take my eyes over one more time. Type, telephone. There's no other pages? It's Mama. It's not. I've got it cropped out. Don't worry. I know. It's cropped. Check every page for a box that says signature. There's nothing on that page. Marathon Season 2 update. Shells are being reimagined to protectors. Renamed to protectors. Players can hang out in the tower in between matches. Player also have a new companion called a Spectre. You're lying. I didn't read the full update. Come on. That's not in that post, is it? All I saw was the PvE part, so I just tweeted it out. Get out of here. There's no way. No trailer 3 and nothing on Monday. The pre-order thing was to the old release date for GTA 6 on May 26th because marketing starts in the summer and summer start on the 21st of June. So your Hattigan says, come on, it's not. That's clearly bait. You're baiting. Here's the thing, though, about that. I have a really hard time believing that they were going to only allow pre-orders right at that point. So you expect me to believe that with the original release date, they were going to only let people pre-order the biggest game in the dadgum world for 8 days. You're literally high. Like, it's not a terrible theory, but it also kind of is a terrible theory. Like, you know what I'm saying? The original release date was May 26th. You think Rockstar was going to be like, no, don't let people pre-order a generation-defining game, the biggest game probably ever to release in history. Yeah, we're only going to let people pre-order for 8 days. I'm sorry, but you're insane if you think that's what they were going to do. Is the context physical only? Maybe. No. No. You guys are crazy. Do you have any idea how many copies of this game they're going to have to make sure they're able to fulfill? They're going to do that in 8 days? Logistically, what you're saying, you guys are nuts if you think that would be crazy. The logistical insanity to give people 8 days to pre-order GTA physical? Oh my gosh. It would be absolutely insane. Like, there's no way. There's no way. It makes way more sense to allow for there to be months of pre-orders so they can assure, like, we have plenty of, printed, minted, shipped, whatever words they use. They want to know a hard cutoff. It hasn't been made yet. They want 6 months to get the number ready. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is absolutely no way that this thing that leaked was in relation to the original release date. Now, maybe you're theorizing that they were going to have a hard push at the very end in the lead up to the release date. My question to you would be then, why would the campaign mysteriously end on the 21st? That's a really weird window of time. If I try to view your theory in the best light, it would be that, well, no. The pre-orders would have been going on for a long time for GTA 6. But they would have run a campaign to get one last push of pre-orders at the very end. Okay? And they would do that for 3 days, the 18th to the 21st? That doesn't make an ounce of sense. You would run the pre-order campaign from the 18th to the 26th, the original release date. You would just have people promoting it as much as you possibly can up until that very last moment. It makes way more sense that the campaign is running the 18th to the 21st because the 21st is the Take-Two earnings call. They want that pre-order number screaming hot so homie can walk into the earnings call and say, just this morning, I had this report run. Our current estimates have pre-orders sitting at this number with projections landing at this number within a month and this number at release date. That's what Strauss Zelnick wants when he walks into that earnings call. He wants to go in there and absolutely put it on the table and make a room go dark. Why? Because he's gone to earnings calls multiple times and made assurances about the release date, and it ended up not being, it didn't happen. That homie wants to go in strong on the 21st with numbers in hand. It would genuinely be one of the stupidest logistical decisions in our history. Yeah, there's no way they would do that. The only pushback would be that it's an old campaign. It's an old campaign that, was like a ghost in the system. We could probably debunk that anyway. Let's do this. GTA 6 pre-order leak. Let's look at the actual screenshot from Frogboy. He was the one that broke it, right? Let's look at the actual image that he posted, all right? Yeah, here's a glaring problem with your theory. If this said 2025, your theory would have some legs. Homie, it literally says 2026. There ain't no way this is some kind of ghost in the machine from last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It was this year. Never mind. I'm thinking backwards. I'm thinking of the November release date, 2025. I'm confusing myself. I think the most compelling part about this is the fact that it's such a short campaign for the physical game and it ends on the 21st. Because they're not interested in giving people kickbacks beyond the 21st. They're not interested. They're going to give you a kickback doing it the 18th to the 21st. Why? Why? Because this is going to help their earnings call. This is going to help their earnings call. Let's watch Sav's water video. No, I don't feel like it. If Silk Song had servers crash, GTA 6 will have them explode. Maybe because they know the game will explode in sales. I'm not sure I understand the point that you're making. What are you arguing with? I don't think this campaign is some old campaign that they were like holding on to. They were like holding on to and saying, "Oh yeah, run that campaign the 18th to the 21st for physical copies. That's when we're going to open up pre-orders for a game that launches on May 26th. I do not think that's even remotely possible. If it was a one last hurrah, right? If it was a one last hurrah push to promote the game, then maybe. But even then, the dates don't make sense. Why would you do one last hurrah to push pre-orders and just randomly stop on the 21st? You're only going to... Like, I've been a part of campaigns like this before through Impact. They commonly run for 30 days. I don't know if I've ever seen a campaign run for such a short amount of time. 3 days. Like, okay. Like, there might be particular reasons why you might do that, but yeah, I would expect them to do a lot more than just 3 days if they were trying to do like one last push. Stay safe when diving into the ocean with controllers. Why would they make a joke about that? They don't want the creators to capitalize from the offer since they know how popular it is and they know how well it'll sell. They don't want creators to capitalize from the offer. So they're going to offer people 3 days of a 5% kickback on the most popular game to probably ever be sold. And your argument is they don't want creators to capitalize. What does that even mean? If they're going to let you do it for 3 days, what's the difference between 3 days and 6 days, 7 days, however many? Like, I am not tracking with your logic, sir. I'm not. I don't think your position makes any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. I get why people are skeptical. I think your skepticism is completely legitimate. It's completely legitimate to be like, hey, I don't think this is real. This is probably something from the previous release date. I don't think anything's happening. Given how many times people have run with, Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, leaks, breadcrumbs, the moon in the background, the stars, somebody has a coffee stain on their picture on Instagram that's in the shape of a 6. Like, I get the skepticism. I think your skepticism is totally warranted. I would never argue somebody out of a skeptical position on GTA 6 anything, because their marketing has been really, really hard to predict ever since the first trailer and it got leaked and shoved out the night before it was supposed to go live. Ever since then, it's been impossible to deduce anything. So your skepticism is totally fair. I don't think this leaked campaign is in relation to the previous day. I don't think it's in relation to any of that. I think it 100% is a real campaign, and it's real. I believe the pre-orders are going live Monday or today. They could go live today, and the campaign just starts on Monday for one final strong push leading up to the earnings call. The fact that the campaign ends on the 21st, I think, is the biggest and loudest signal that it is 100% directly related to the earnings call and wanting people to be pushing as much as they possibly can to get those sales going. Would you prefer physically or digital then, knowing those games have logistical failures and shortages? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't know if I've ever went to go and buy a game and was unable to. I don't know if I've ever been like, oh man, I wanted to buy that game and they didn't have any. Now, collector's editions, that happens. That 100% happens with collector's editions, but I don't know if I've ever gone to like physically buy a game. Like back in the day, maybe like you would go like morning of and they wouldn't have any. But with pre-orders, I don't feel like that's really a thing. I don't feel like I've really run into that. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but like historically speaking, if you want to get a game, you want to pre-order a game, they're generally available, especially this far in advance. Hang on a second. How do you pay your bill? Claims, care. Sorry, I'm checking on something. Have you guys ever had this happen? Like websites now lack the most basic functions. Like you go to a website and they're like, we have this, we have this, we have a personal assistant. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to pay my bill. Like, where is that? Like, why isn't there just some big fat button that says pay my bill? Like, websites make me feel like a boomer, and I don't think it's my fault. I think it's their fault. Like, we get into this weird, everybody's doing weird, confangled things now with like, yeah, we added this thing to our website that does this. And it's like, okay, let me freaking pay. Like, what are we doing? Last Ace Combat was like that. Physical sold out at GameStop, but it was ghetto GameStop. Yeah, I literally don't have an option to pay. Like, I don't see anything. I see my plan. I see my benefits. I can look at profile. I literally don't see a button anywhere to pay my bill. I've gone to every single dashboard, activity, tracking, my rewards, program. Like, how do I pay the dadgum bill? I think I set it up on auto pay. That's literally all I'm wanting to check to see. I'm fairly certain that I have it set up on auto pay, and I just want to double check that. That's what a boomer would say. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a boomer. I literally move and sit in these worlds. Like, I run a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, and I go to pay bills now, and I'm like, where the frick is the dadgum button to pay the bill? Where is it? They all have redone their whole websites. I'm telling you, every website has done this now. The water company did it multiple times. They made it to where it's like they literally had to email people a guide on how to do it because they had changed it so many times. People were like, where do I go to pay my bill? I just started setting up everything on auto pay because like you'd go to the website and you literally couldn't find it. Yeah, I'm literally unable to do it. There's nothing here that allows me to do it. I don't understand it. All right, manage premium payments. So you can go and manage your card. Okay, and that's where auto pay is set up. It doesn't say pay bill. It says manage premium payments, which to me sounds like you're going to manage your payments, your co-pays, or anything else that you paid beyond that, or your card on file. Like you're managing your card on file, not like paying the bill. I'm telling you, I read a book on usability once. I was working for a tech company. I was working for a small development company. And I read a book on usability. And they said that when there was a search bar at the top and it just said search, the use of that search bar was very high. When they changed it to quick search, right? When they changed it to quick search, the use of the search bar fell like a cliff, like just like a rock, just like boom. Why? Because people are like, I don't know what quick search is. I just want to search. So when you use terminology or idioms or like phrases or vernacular that people aren't familiar with, what am I here to do? I am here to pay my bill. And they have manage premium payments. My eyes are going to go right over that. I'm like, that's just managing my card on file. That's managing my premium payments. That's managing that. I'm not paying a bill when I go there. Guess what? You click on that, and then down below, you have your bills, you have your paid, you have your auto pay, you have all your settings there. It's like, oh, thank you so much. It doesn't make an ounce of sense. It's like, that's not what I was looking for. So like, you see what I'm saying? Like, why can't we just go with simple, big fat button, view bill, pay bill, view profile. That's all you need on most websites these days. It's not you being boomerish. It's the web and shitifying on purpose. They want you on the app, not the website. And if they make it difficult to pay your bill, then likely to change fees. I mean, they were pushing the app, so you could be right. They were pushing their app. A lot of companies I've noticed have done that, Derek. They're like, yeah, download our app. I'm like, I don't want your app. What the heck? This is like dental. This is like my dental insurance. I don't need an app for that. Like, yeah, I need to be checking that every day. I need to log in. Oh my gosh, it's frustrating. UI and UX designers were mass casualties because corporations think AI can do it. Oh. Multiple clicks now to do anything. Yeah, they want everything on apps. Yeah, I've noticed that, eldest one. That was the other thing that we studied when I was at that tech company, is that users will give you like 3 clicks and they're out. If they have to click more than 3 times, they're irritated. They're like, get the frick out of here. Like, there was all sorts of trickery you could do with procedural engagements to get people to kind of like interact with your website in like a procedural way. But you had to be really careful with it because you could literally drive people away from the website. If you did too many steps, they would leave. There were drop-off rates in usability tests where if the user had to click too many times, they were out. They're like, I'm done. That's why it blows my mind when you go to a website like that and I say, I'm literally here to pay my bill. I Googled Anthem Pay Bill, clicked on a page that said pay your bill here, logged in, and it's just some generic page with all this stuff I don't need. Like an AI assistant, virtual tour of this, and then like my rewards. I'm like, my rewards? What do you mean? This isn't a Subway sandwich card. It's my health insurance. Like, what the frick is my rewards? What are you gonna give me a little star for going to the dentist on a regular basis and send me like a toothbrush in the mail? Like, what do you mean my rewards? I'm here to pay my bill. Ugh. I was just about to ask what happened to the 3-click rule. Yeah, man. Oh, it drives me frickin' crazy. It's that way with everything now. Like I said, it makes me feel like a boomer. I'm like, I'm not a boomer. I'm not sitting here trying to like figure out how to do something. I'll tell you what's even worse is when you have kids and you go to set up anything for children, they don't make it easy to protect your kids at all. Like, I would never justify or defend it, but I would totally understand parents getting fed up and just giving their kid a normal account. They make it incredibly difficult to like set up your kid's account and protect them. It's like 85 extra steps. By the time you're done, you're so irritated. You're like, oh my gosh, that was not easy at all. Like we got our kids tablets and we locked them down. Like, I'm like, nope. I gave them a little speech. I was like, this tablet is in the same shape as that front door on our house. Would it be safe for you to go out that door and just go anywhere you want? They were like, no. Would it be safe for me to just let you guys go out that front door and go out and do whatever you want and talk to whoever you want? Would that be safe? No. This tablet is just like that door. And when you get through that door, there is a whole host of stuff out there that can hurt you. I was like, you guys need to be very keenly aware of that. And I locked those suckers down. I know anything that happens on them. And it was like, it took an entire evening. It was not easy. It was 18 steps for every single thing. They make it very, very frustrating and difficult. And I think the reason they do that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the reason they do that is because they know anytime it's a child account, they can't track the data, they can't do any of this stuff with the ads, they can't try to get more money from them, and they don't like those. They probably don't like those accounts because they're probably low conversion rate accounts. So they probably don't like them, so they make it a pain in the butt to set them up so that you just get fed up and give your kid a normal account. So then they're spending more money, they're getting more ads, their data's being tracked, and then they get more money off of that individual user. It's 100% by design. And it irritates the fire out of me. Google Family Link is great. Any site they go to sends a request to your phone. Yeah, this was different. This was like all the Android stuff, and it was just step after step after step. I ran through the same thing trying to set up their Xbox accounts that way. It's just not easy. It's clunky. The stuff doesn't work. You'll get errors. It's super frustrating. It all feels like it's by design. Everything's so overcomplicated now. Like, just let me play the game without having to make a launcher account. Yeah. Thankfully, that's kind of gone down a little bit. I felt like there was a time period there where every time I installed a game and went to play it, they're like, we need you to set up an account with us. What's your email? And I'm like, why do I have to set up an account with you? I bought the game. What? Have a look at this. Family Link. Okay. I think I'm going to look into that for other things anyway, Paul. I think I've already got that, like, to research. But, yeah. Let's watch Saz Water video. You already said that. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do a reaction right now. I sometimes just, I don't feel like putting on somebody else's content and listening to it all the time. We do that, infrequently. I'm not saying you're right, but I'm definitely not saying you're wrong. That stuff pissed me off so much. I remember buying a Squeenix game, and they were like, set up 90 different accounts to play this single-player game. Like, huh? Yeah, there was a time period where I felt like every game was asking for my email when I went to go into the game. And I'm like, why? Leave me alone. I'm here to play a video game, not apply for a job. What are we doing? Like, get out of my way. I feel like I'm constantly yelling that. I was doing stuff with my kids' tablets, and then I was doing stuff on my laptop, and then I was doing stuff on a website, and I was like, stop getting in my way. Like, pop-ups, this thing telling me this, and this thing saying, did you know you can do this now? I don't care. Let me into the app. Let me onto the website. It's like, get out of my way. It's like, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Like, I was there when the old magic was written, and every website you went into was like pop-up, 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 and you had to install like pop-up killers on your browser. And it's like, now all of a sudden we're getting back to that era of time where every website I go to is like boom, 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 boom. It's like, and the website's like behind it all. I'm like, get out of the way. I can't see the thing. I want to do the thing. Just let me do the thing. Who is Sav? Why did he make a video about water? Sav is a really good creator. He's making a lot of GTA 6 content. We reacted to one of his videos a couple of days ago. I just don't feel like doing it right now. Like, I have to sit and be quiet and like listen to another person make content, and that's fine. I just don't like doing that all the time. The FBI suggests that we use ad blocks now. The FBI. Oh. A guy that has Lego Batman early by Amazon says that the performance has been great on the Pro, so it seems like the PC players might have a problem with the game, not console players. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, the PC boys, can I get an amen? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a multi-plat game comes out and inexplicably has a bunch of problems on PC and is fine on console. That's happened, in the last couple of years. That's been a common occurrence, unfortunately. And I couldn't figure out. I was like, what how would a Lego Batman game be having performance problems? I was like, huh? No, seriously? No, I know, Eve. I know. I saw the reports. Like, they're basically saying, yeah, you should be running ad blockers. I get it. Excuse me. Yeah, they have a whole PSA on the FBI. Cyber criminals are impersonating brands using search engine advertisement services to defraud users. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So, guys, if we could get to 300 likes, that would be amazing. We are waiting to see if the GTA 6 trailer 3 decides to land. At this point, the theory is it'll be late in the day. That is the current theory. They're going to try and get that stock value to go up. The That's seemingly their hope. And we, if it's not today, I think trailer 3 drops on Monday to boost those pre-orders. I'm seeing a lot of Summer Game Fest ads are hitting. Keely's talking about Summer Game Fest. I'm checking the feeds right now. Seeing something about Forza, seeing something about Subnautica. Yeah, all's quiet on the Western Front. It's very, very quiet right now. Very quiet. The Lego game is in UE5. Yeah, but who cares? Like, plenty of games have launched in UE5 and have been fine. Like, just because you're in UE5 doesn't mean, like, I can't make heads or tails of what in the world you did with your Lego game to, like, have performance problems. Like, seriously. I still like to muse about the idea that they just canceled the game like Madam was asking about last Saturday. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What game was she talking about being canceled? GTA? Hey, Lono, people keep saying that Bungie's adding PvE, but I feel like that's a little misleading. It's a test mode in Season 2. They did say they want to chill playlists, but do they go full PvP? I mean, I don't think people are trying to be misleading. I mean, I don't know. Did you read the same blog post that I did? I scrolled down to that section, and it's like, let's see. Hang on. They talk about it further down. Yeah, right here. Exploring more PvP, PvE, and PvP light experiences. Okay, so we're testing some experiments in Season 2 around PvE and PvP light modes. Hang on, let's just Control F it. In Season 2, we'll be experimenting with 2 modes, one at the beginning of the season and one towards the middle and latter half of the season. The experimental mode at the beginning of the season will focus more on PvE, but with a light touch of PvP. The second experimental mode will be PvE-only mode that's focused on crews being tasked with completing objectives together and making some progress across matches. So, I get where you're coming from, that, oh, it's just an experiment. Homie, this is the game that we were told wasn't made for everyone, it was going to be tough and intense, and that PvE didn't have a place, and they're going to run an experiment with the PvE-only mode. I would say that means PvE is likely coming to the game. It is coming to the game as an experiment, so I think it's fair to say it's coming, but I would say it's fair to say it's coming to the game. They don't have much of a choice at this point. They got to do something to get people to come and play. I think they're focusing on their core audience first with Season 2. They're focusing on their core audience first, and then they're going to want to try to expand that funnel. And a great way to expand the funnel is to be like, you can come and play the game and not deal with PvP. We were constantly told this isn't Unk Raiders Get Good, and now they're like, well, we're going to run an experiment of PvE only. Wow, that didn't take long. Halfway through the second season. Good golly. The big time fans and defenders of this game, I don't know how many targets they could miss. They might be good at shooting guns in a video game, but their predictive powers are so off the mark. Everything I've said has practically come true. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's become obnoxious to say I told you so. I don't know. We know what PvE only is, but I want to know what this is. All right, hang on one second. What's this say? The experimental mode at the beginning of the season will be focused more on PvE, but with a light touch of PvP. Yeah, so Fuzzy, that could be a couple of things. Number one, it could be PvE where you're doing something and you're trying to do it faster than another team or something. Maybe you're not actually shooting each other. Maybe we can't actually kill each other, but you're trying to do something, my team's trying to do something, and if you do it before us, we don't get any loot. Right? We pack it up and go home, there's nothing there. Yeah, Eldest One, thank you so much for a member renewal and says double dips, appreciate it. Yo, what's good, Vapor? Stopping by, catch the stream tonight. Have an awesome day. Thank you, Vapor. They said there would be no duos. They said there would be no prox chat. Bungie have a history of saying what's not in their game. Here's the thing that drives me crazy about that game. It's not even the users as much as it is Bungie. Like, Bungie was so reluctant to do things that just seemed blatantly obvious. It was like, no, we're not going to do that. And then they do it. No duos at launch, no prox chat. Those things end up in the game. And now we're like, yeah, no PvE, and here it comes. Like, I don't know. Hi, Reforge. Why do you think Trailer 3 drops today or might drop? Because pre-orders go live on Monday. I'm very confident that leak is a very strong indicator that pre-orders go live on Monday. They want the pre-orders to be running right up until the day that the earnings call happens, which is the 21st. You have to collect. Let's call them moats. And the light touch of PvP is an enemy player can invade. No. Bank those moats and summon a primeval, and they'll just change it. You know what I mean? Like, bank that loot and summon an extract. Oh, frick. They are 100% putting PvE in the game, says Solemn. The reason it's temporary is not just to test the waters, but also to see what they can manage to put out in the time and the resources they have will be acceptable. But if they can move forward with it from there, says Solemn. They have a PvE-focused mode with light PvP, but they're also doing 100% PvE mode as well. Yeah. We read it. I mean, it's clear they're doing both. Fuzzy says, what I'm hoping for is split the map in sections and make it so you have to fight another team to extract. I mean, there's a lot of things they could try to make it so where, like, PvP is not so disruptive and it's more of like a punctiliar moment, like at the end of the match or something. Like, I think that can certainly add intensity and excitement. It can also get a little rote and rehearsed, so I don't necessarily know if that's like the solution, but there is some certain things they could experiment with. I think the biggest problem that I had the last time I played the game was I am trying to do X, and every time I go to do X, there are people stopping me from doing X. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go play something else. Echo Doctrine says, either way, this is exactly what Lono predicted would happen. Listen, I was saying it sort of tongue-in-cheek, but also sort of serious last week to Kirk. I would never bet against me when it comes to Bungie. Never. You're practically betting against the house, and the house always wins. I would never, ever, ever bet against me when it comes to Bungie. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I've missed predictions on certain things. When it comes to Bungie, my batting average is weird. It's freaking weird. I've got a sixth sense with that company. It comes from covering the game as long as I did, right? I'm not a genius. I can't see the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have inside contacts at Bungie. But I just wouldn't bet against me when it comes to that company. Whenever I look at what they're doing and creating and talking about, the words they use, the signals they send, I'm like, yeah, this is probably what's going to happen. Yeah, this is probably where things are going to land. This is probably how this is going to go. And it's like ding, 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 like every single time. They're the one company that I probably have the most consistent predictive powers with. The company I'm the worst at predicting is PlayStation. I can never freaking predict what PlayStation does. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. Are they going to do a state of play? Are they going to do a trailer? Are they going to do a reveal? Are they going to show gameplay? I don't freaking know. We all guess. Thank you, Chrono, for the raid. When it comes to PlayStation, I'm super inconsistent. When it comes to GTA 6, I'm super inconsistent. It's like almost like nobody can predict what GTA 6 is going to do. When it comes to Bungie, I would never bet against me, ever. You're going to lose almost every single time. I speak their language. I understand. I don't know. It's like you just get a sense of how things move and play out after covering a game for so long. And this is not unique to me. You could probably watch somebody who's covered World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or other live service games, and they develop a similar sixth sense. They kind of know where things are going to go. You know, guys that cover a certain particular game get to a point where they're like, I bet you they do this, and I bet you this happens next week. And a lot of the times, they nail it. Why? Well, it becomes their game. It becomes their thing. You know? It's with that game and with Bungie and the crowd and with live service in general, I've gotten pretty good at being like, I think this is where player psychology is going to land. These are where the trends are going to head. These are where the metas are going to emerge. And this is likely what's going to happen. And again, that's not me claiming like I'm special or something. I got really, really good at that with them in particular. I've gotten pretty good at it with live service. But my biggest concern with them in that game since early this year, when people kept coming to me and showing me trailers and showing me videos and saying, oh, the morale's turning around, Lono, the morale's turning around. Every single time I said the same thing. I said, it doesn't have enough viewership. I think the public isn't paying enough attention. I kept saying the same thing. I said, I think the issue is that they've lost the public's eye. That's their biggest challenge. I don't think their challenge is like they're in the dark on what needs to happen. I think they're clearly tuned in to like, man, oh man, that we misfired here. We misfired. There's so much about this that's not working. I don't think they're in the dark. I just think that it's too late. It's like you lost the public's eye. I don't know how you get it back. I don't. Yeah, Marathon pushed out that patch update, Chrono. You probably covered it, I'm assuming. I'm assuming you read through it. Wait, first Best Buy, now Walmart? Walmart had a leak about GTA as well? You got a source for that? Did somebody tweet or make a video? I've not seen anything. I've been checking the feeds pretty closely here. Excuse me. I read the thing. It was a long read. Yeah, it is long. The too long didn't read is they need people to come and play the game that aren't currently playing it. Is the too long didn't read. You know? That's the too long didn't read. It's like being banned by Bungie gave you a superpower. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's when my ability to predict what they were going to do started. I think that's part of the reason they didn't... We don't need to retread all that ground, but like I think part of the reason I wasn't invited to that first community summit and the reason I got targeted by them and all the big content creators is precisely because of my ability to do what I did, and I don't think they liked it. And I was pretty arrogant. I was a bit of a prick about it. I mean, I'm trying not to be that right now, but it's like, what do you want me to say? I'm not going to not say it. I told everybody what was going to happen with this game, made a bunch of predictions. They've all virtually come true. I'm not going to shy away from pointing that out, but I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm not being arrogant and sauntering around and doing I told you streams once a week. Like, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm not dancing on the game's grave. I'm not celebrating the loss of players. I'm simply saying, look, man, I tried to tell y'all. I had to hear from weeks from people that said I had a bias and didn't know what I was talking about. That was frustrating. Me of all people, you're going to tell me I don't know what's going on with a Bungie game because of a bias. Jiminy Christmas. 10 spot from Dark Taco. Will you be returning to Marathon for PvE? You were quite vocal on your enjoyment of the faction grind. I will. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll 100% check it out. I'll come back and check it out both times they add PvE. I will. I'll check it out. I'll stream it. I'll talk about it. I will. I don't see how I couldn't. You called the reception to Cryo too? Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to go out here and have like an ego about this. I'm not trying to have an ego about this and be rude. But it's like, I hit almost every shot on this game. And now we've got another one. It's like, they're going to have to add PvE. They're going to have to. I was like, they're going to have to. I wouldn't surprise me at all if they do an experimental PvE thing, because it's very, very clear the game's going to need that kind of an inroad. Oh, they also talked about how they need to smooth over the onboarding. Again, talking about smoothing over the onboarding, something I talked about day one. I played the server slam, and I was like, this is the most unwelcoming game I have ever played. This is terrible onboarding. It's offboarding. It's the opposite. It's like, go play something else. I have a short on the channel. I talked about that. It's like, there's been plenty of games I've gone and played, and people were telling you, oh, you should go play something else. This game tells you to go play something else. It's like, you don't speak our language. Just go play something else. It's like from the moment you get into the game, it's like telling you that you should go play something else. It's literally a game that has active offboarding from moment one. It's like a gatekeeping filter from the very beginning you get in. Get out. Don't come in here and try and play this. It's a very interesting strategy to take with a live service game. Very interesting strategy. You might buy it if it has PvE. Here's the problem, Jaguar. Here's the problem. They're going to add it like halfway through the season as an experiment, so we don't know how long it's going to run. It's not going to be the full game. I think the biggest threat to that game is their dadgum ego and how slow it takes for them to update things. I think those two things are a recipe for disaster. They're so hubristic. They're so egotistical. They will not admit that they are wrong. And you want to know why I know that? Because I'm that way. I get it. I think that's why I get them. I think that's why I'm able to predict what they do. Because they are hubristic to their core. They're egotistical. They don't admit that they're wrong. And I know exactly what that's like. Because that's how I'm wired. I am wired that way. It's why I don't argue a position unless I've fully researched it. Because I don't want to be wrong. But they're also really slow. They're so slow. Everything they do is slow. It's that Tiger engine. I think those two things are going to converge, and it's just going to take too long to turn the ship around. It's just going to take too long. If that game would have been out for 2 weeks and they did this, hey, we hear you, onboarding, PvE, boom, 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 and they were able to fire off a bunch of updates and experiments, they might have been able to turn the ship around and get some momentum. Halfway through Season 2? Come on. It's too long. And that's not even going to be a permanent fixture. It's not going to even be you being able to experience the full game. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. You can't create momentum at that point. Hilly says, I thought similar. I'd buy the game if they say this is now has a PvE mode, and this is the content that it is on. An experimental mode option can, by definition, disappear. That's exactly right, Hilly. And how long will it take them to sort of curate an entire PvE experience? It's going to take too long. They're not going to be able to do it fast enough. They don't do anything fast other than disable weapons when they're strong. If a weapon's too strong and it's breaking things, but they're quick on that, they'll have that sucker disabled before the afternoon. They'll cancel lunch. All right, everybody stop. We got to disable that weapon. They will disable guns faster than you can say weapon. But when it comes to updates and iteration and content, they are so slow. So slow. If they have a future and a new IP or a Destiny 3, they have to leave Tiger behind. They have to. You can't live in the live service environment without agility. You can't do it. It's like you watch the Olympics, right? And you watch those routines, right? Where Simone's bouncing around and flipping around, and you're like, oh my gosh. Imagine somebody trying to do that routine, and they're a defensive lineman. They're not going to be able to do it. They're strong. They're faster than you might think, but they don't have that kind of agility. They just don't. They're not built like that. You know what I mean? It's that's Bungie. It's you're trying to do something that requires agility and quickness and reactivity, and your engine is I'm tired, boss. It's not there. It's never been there. It's never been there. One of the reasons Fortnite is where it is because the speed with which they could update that game. I mean, it was the entire meta, the entire map, all of it on a dime. They could detonate it. And yes, it caused problems. They did updates a little too often. It caused bugs, glitches, your weapon hovering in the air behind you and oddities like that and hitches and optimization problems. But buddy, boy, did they keep that thing relevant and red hot. It was every other week they were doing something in Fortnite. They have an agile engine. They have an agile engine. They can just make changes. They can just do stuff. Now, I know Unreal has its flaws. Unreal has its problems. But the Tiger engine, if there's anything we can say about it, we can say tons of good about it, but you can never say that it's agile or quick. You just can't. Let's be real. They saw Bellular's video yesterday and said, you know what, he's right, and they changed the whole game. I didn't get a chance to watch Bellular's video. They're quick for Eververse glitches or Bright Dust farms. Well, yeah, I mean, because that affects their income. Fortnite's become shovelware. I'm talking about, you know what I'm referring to, though, Hotshot. Like, I'm talking about the days where, like, Fortnite was just screaming relevant and hot and everything. They were constantly doing things, with the game and updating it and reinventing it. And, it was clear that they understood the assignment. They understood the assignment of a live service game. The assignment was you have to constantly update it. You have to constantly keep going. Yeah, when it was just BR Save the World. With live games, nothing will ever beat the feeling of something new every week, responding to players' fixes. To me, the entire point of taking on live to these, and 90% have come up short. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, Fortnite is still crazy hot. Yeah, 14 million. That's like just the PlayStation numbers. Yeah, people thinking that, like, Fortnite fell off. I mean, that's like saying... They fell off. Yeah, they slipped from the peak of Mount Everest to, like, I don't know, halfway down the summit. And, like, almost no other game is up there. So few games are at their threshold of, like, engaged daily players, weekly players, monthly players. Like, not even friggin' close. Live service isn't going anywhere. The notion that, like, live service is dying out or going away or whatever is just, like, that's wishful thinking. It's not going anywhere. Tiger burning bright. Watch this render take all night. All right, we're going to go and hang with Ginger in an hour. I still don't know what I'm going to do. I might end the stream at that point. I'm not sure. I'm going to make that call like at the buzzer because I don't want to necessarily jump out of the pool here, but I may just get everything ready for a reaction, and if it drops, we'll then just go live and react instead of just continuing to stream. But I do need a quick break here, so I'll be right back. Sorry, I was texting. Okay. Walmart Canada is making a change to prepare for the release of GTA 6. Where was this talked about? GTA 6, Walmart Canada. I'm not seeing anybody talking about this. Who's talking about Walmart Canada doing anything for GTA 6? Can we get a couple more likes on the video? Let's get to 300 likes before we shift gears here. What time will the stream be tonight? Around 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll actually try to go live on time. I know it's like a cliche that like I always start late, but like with these two streams being gameplay driven, I'll talk to Madam. We might actually try to go live tonight a little earlier because it makes it a little bit easier for us to take breaks and like make sure the kids are in bed and stuff. It's hard when we go live at like 8:30 instead of 8, and then like 45 minutes later we're having to like take a break. So I'll talk to her and see if we can't kind of legislate around dinner and everything. Saturday we might not be able to go live earlier than 8 though, but maybe we will be able to tonight. So I think my chat crashed again. There it goes. All right. The cliche, it's fact. Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of watching a streamer who's like, dad and husband. Like, it's extremely difficult for me to just like run down here and start things like right on time. It's extremely difficult. Not sure why the timeline is filled with people talking about Greater Toronto area, especially that it's the 6th GTA. The traffic in one GTA is already a lot. Yeah, I think they're just tweeting. I don't think they're like saying anything significant. Yo, Raven coming in with 25 months, and I missed. Did I add Jack Garland's? I don't think I did. Jack Garland and Raven. Getting us to 766. Thank you for 25 months, Raven, and thank you for 46 months, Jack Garland, and a VIP. Just yell at the kids at around 7 and scare them too much to leave their rooms. No, I don't think I'll be doing that. They would know that something is wrong. They'd be like, huh? I'm like, he doesn't talk like that. What are you doing? They would start probably laughing. Jake Lucky promoting Grind Survivors. The indie devs made a fast-paced roguelike where you play as a demon hunter fighting endless waves of hellspawn. Think Megabonk with demons, dodge, loot, and blast your way through bullet hell combat. Use the Forge to fuse and upgrade custom weapons. Yeah, Grind Survivors is definitely a game to check out. Hey, look at that. I think that just made confetti, didn't it? It should have made confetti. That was the 5th super chat. Or did we run out of time? No, there's 36 minutes left. Why didn't that make confetti? A $5 super chat from SSMCT. My Walmart just made big changes to the tech area, and they're selling PS5 Pros now, which they've never done before recently in South Texas. Interesting. Huh. I mean, yeah, they're probably preparing. I mean, if the pre-orders are going live. I would assume they're not going to necessarily have shelving space designated for GTA 6 this early, though. That would be weird. Yeah, that would be weird. Like, do you need shelving space? Grind Survivors needs more content. I mean, they're probably a small studio. It's not a super big game. I got a lot of time out of it. I don't know, maybe 20 hours? Or so. There it is. That was so delayed. It took like minutes. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah. Excuse me. How long did it take? My only issues with Grind Survivors is that there isn't a lot there. It could use more content and alternate game styles. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor has spoiled me. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is the peak. I think that's the problem. Like, I don't until somebody manages to, create an actual rival. I feel like we're always going to be comparing it to Deep Rock. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is the best Survivor out there. Housemarque could. You're not lying. Housemarque could do an amazing one. I don't know if I want them doing that, but they could do it as like a fun, small side project and sell it for $20 or $30. You have 320 hours in Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I would just really, really like there to be a game like that with good co-op. Because I would love Deep Rock Galactic Survivor with co-op, but I don't think we're ever going to get it. I think they basically said it's kind of not in the cards with how the game has been built. Why is YouTube... Oh, YouTube surged 4 or 5 minutes ago because it was noon. That makes sense. Yeah. I want one with good co-op. Like the Jotun Slayer supposedly added it. It's weird that it's not listed as co-op on the PlayStation, even though it says they added it. I'm kind of confused. I watched gameplay for a little bit, and I was like, I don't think Madam and I would like this for very long. I think we would get annoyed / bored very quickly. You ever see Alien Nation? I feel like I've looked at this game before. It's Housemarque, and it's up to 4-player co-op. It's a 10-year-old game, but it looks pretty good. I feel like Madam and I tried whatever it's called, Vex Machina or Nex Machina or whatever it's called, the one Housemarque game, and again, I think it just didn't vibe with us. It didn't vibe with us. It just got too intense. Alien Nation has a 4.45. I feel like my son played that one for a little while. I feel like he did. It's got a good score. Noonan's Come is gone. I'd imagine they'd aim for relatively early to grab the news cycle. Have you tried Entropy Survivors? I feel like I looked at that one. Didn't I? Yes. We played that one for a little while. We also got tired of that one. It's on PlayStation. Yeah, we played Entropy Survivors for a little while. We got decently far and got upgrades and stuff, and it just it's not bad. We got bored. The games that we typically go the distance the most with, like RoboQuest and Dead Zone Rogue, are shooters. Rogue shooters are really fun, and then if we could find more co-op Hades clones, like we really like Sworn. I think we put like 50 hours into Sworn, and we put like 30 hours into Dead Zone Rogue. We really liked both of those games. There aren't a lot of good rogue shooters. Like, RoboQuest is a really good rogue shooter, but the problem with RoboQuest is it kept disconnecting us when we would get to the final area. She would disconnect from my game. We tried all sorts of things. Finished the epilogue in Sorrows. Shooting for platinum now. Nice. Enjoy it. Here, let me put up a timer for the round table. Hang on, I can't type. Gaming round table is today. Hang on. Set, start, show. I'm sorry, what? Why is it saying that? Oh. There we go. Jewels will expire. Jewels are like the microcurrency on YouTube. Did you ever do Gunfire Reborn? Yeah, we played a lot of Gunfire Reborn. I think we got like 40 hours or so out of Gunfire Reborn. My frustration with Gunfire Reborn is they did all this seasonal content that you it's gate kept behind like their hardest difficulty. Madam and I do not like playing games at the hardest difficulty. That's not what we're trying to do. I am not trying to get stressed out and frustrated. So that was my biggest frustration. I was like, if they would open up the seasonal content in Gunfire Reborn, we would probably go back and play it. We played it a lot. We got really good. We beat the entire game. We beat got all the way to the end, beat like the big snow boss, the snow area that happens like after the pirate ship, you know? They have a game on the PS4 called Revenge of the Gold Diggers. I've not heard of that. Revenge of the Gold Diggers PlayStation. Are you talking about Revenge on Gold Diggers? What the frick is this? Is it like an interactive story? It's only been reviewed by like 180 people, 160 people. It's a PS4 game. Homie, what is this game? This isn't even a new game, is it? I think this is an old game. .82 rating. I don't know why you're asking me about this. I have no idea. It looks like a weird soap, like Asian soap opera that you like point and click through. EverQuest Legends preview, the classic MMO reimagined. Really? Yeah, my daughter played the Dream Valley game for a while. She liked it. You made it to Biome 4 in Returnal. That's the hinge the game turns on right there. And that's it. You found the score to be absurd? Well, when 170 people have reviewed it, I mean, that doesn't seem that absurd to me. I mean, there are plenty of games that get, 100 to 200 people to review it, and if they all think it's like the greatest thing ever, it's going to have a good score. Do they benefit you? I don't see anywhere to use them on your stream from mobile. Oh, I turned them off, Dan. You'll have to use them on somebody that turned them on. I didn't like them. It disrupted chat, and then I felt bad not acknowledging them. But like I couldn't set a minimum, so people were doing them at like 10 cents at a time. I always hated that on Twitch as well. Like being able to do bits like pennies at a time. Like Dance Monkey, here's a penny. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like we have ways of support, and I always want to show appreciation for support, but I don't want a talk show to be perpetually disrupted by, nickels and dimes at a time. Like that's not ideal for what we do. It was extremely disruptive the one day. It was funny, and then it wasn't funny very quickly. And so I just shut it off. It's like a TikTok mobile gift thing anyway. Like they brought it to normal streams, and it was just immediately annoying. Yeah. So if you've got leftover jewels that that are going to expire, I don't know why. Are they doing away with jewels? Or are they just saying your jewels expire? Yeah, I finished Pragmata and did all the extra challenges at the end. I fought all the bosses on the harder version. It was really enjoyable. It became every few minutes, thanks for the happy poop. Yeah, and it was like, I'm just not doing that. I don't like doing, like streamer humiliation stuff can be funny when you're like making somebody play something frustrating or make somebody play something kind of goofy, but having to like do like little bits of humiliation or silliness like every couple of minutes was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. It was a vibe killer. You didn't buy them? You were wondering what they were about? Oh, so are they deprecating them already? Here's how to use your jewels before they expire on June 12th. These jewels will expire from your account if you do not redeem any of them. I wonder if they gave you some for free and those are going to expire. Maybe that's what they're trying to tell you. I think the minute you engage with a channel that had it turned on, I feel like it gave you some for free. That was the other thing that was annoying, is people were disrupting the channel, and I don't even know if it was actually supporting me yet. I think everybody was using like the free ones. Not everybody, but some people were using the free ones, and I'm like, well, what are we even doing here? Turn it on for tonight's stream with Madam. They give everybody a free amount to launch the feature. If you want more, you have to buy them. If they give me control of it and I can set a minimum, I'm happy to turn it on. I always did that with bits on Twitch. I've always been that way. It's not like a new thing with me. I do not like having something like that where I'm not in control of it at all. That's not an enjoyable experience as a streamer. Yeah, it ends up feeling like I'm just sort of like at the mercy, of like people wanting to just be silly. And I think there's a time and a place for that. I'm not against being silly. But day to day, 3 and 4 hour live streams where we're like talking and trying to have a conversation. I just wasn't down with it. How far did your daughter get in Dreamlight Valley? I can't remember. I don't remember that much of what she was doing because she was playing by herself. She hit some kind of a wall and couldn't find the thing that it wanted her to do. I can't. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. Apparently Walmart is doing something. I know you keep saying that, but I'm not seeing evidence anywhere in the feeds. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure where you're getting the information or if somebody's streaming and saying it. What did you get stuck on? I don't remember. I do not remember. There was something that the Disney Dreamlight game was asking her to do, and like she couldn't figure it out. And I was like, I tried to help her, and then I think I figured it out and got her to the next thing. And then it was like another thing cropped up, and like she couldn't figure out what to do or where to go. And then she was done. She was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore. And I was like, that's fine. I mean, I completely understood. What are you playing currently? Madam and I finished Dead Zone Rogue. We really liked it. They did announce a sequel. We got about 30 hours out of it. We did basically everything that there was to do. And now we're playing a game called Astral Ascent. It's this game here. And it's like it's an older game, 2 years old, but you can play co-op, and it's a rogue, and you get like different abilities. It kind of reminded me a little bit of BlazBlue Entropy Effect. Some of the moves and some of the animations. It's got a really, really fun art style. And we did set it to like an easy setting because like I don't like to play stressful, difficult games with her because that's just not what we're looking for in the evenings. And it's so far, I enjoyed it. It's a little bit different than what I was expecting. There's not quite enough player feedback on some of the basic attacks, so sometimes like I can't tell if I'm hitting or getting hit. But I started to get into like a flow state with it last night, and was actually enjoying it. And so we're playing this. I did go back to Mouse PI, and I got all caught up. I got all caught up on Mouse PI to where I was on PC, because I got a PC code for the review. We did like a review in progress. And so I got all caught up on PS5 to where I was previously. So I'll probably be playing that and trying to finish that. I also checked out Blades of Fire yesterday after the update. I still think that game just feels so good with the combat. I wish it would let me customize the controls. That's the one thing about Blades of Fire I don't like on console. I can't customize any of the controls. There's a couple of buttons I'd like to switch just due to muscle memory. But yeah, we beat the first boss last night on our second try. We were able to beat him. It was pretty fun. We haven't done anything since then. Have you played Far Far West? They invited me to play the game early access, but it's hard for me to come in here on a schedule and play in the office. I will probably love and play and put a ton of time into Far Far West when it comes to console. Yeah. I will. I'm not going to play a game on PC. I just don't have the time. I can't really come in here after hours and do much. You and Madam should play the new Dark Pictures game called Directive 8020. We will be playing that tonight. That was part of the incentive for this week on the members goal, and you guys crushed it, so you guys hit stretch. So we're actually doing a double header. We're going to do a stream tonight. We're going to try to go live a little earlier than we typically do, and we're going to try to get a ton of time into Directive 8020. And then tomorrow night we'll do another stream where Madam will continue her journey in Destiny 1. So should be a good time. And we do like those Dark Pictures games. We have the entire playthrough of The Quarry on the channel right now. And there's something... I feel like we played through a couple of games all the way through. I think that some of that happened when we were doing members-only content, so some of that content is gone. We had to remove all the members-only content off the channel because it was absolutely killing us. YouTube was like putting members content in front of non-members, and it was frustrating any new sub to the channel. So we had to stop doing the members-only content, and we also had to remove it. Yeah. Oh, there was another game, Dark Light Survivor is a really interesting take on the Survivor genre. It launched into early access on Steam. Currently has a 74%. And it's an interesting take on the Survivor genre because you can switch from the top down to third person. I'm not sure how that's translating and being experienced, but I've been kind of watching this one. So see, there's the third person. So, you're down on the ground, and then it does switch to the top as well. Got a slight Helldivers feel to it. But yeah, this one went into early access yesterday, and they do have another game called Dark Light, I think is the name of it, and I think that one is a Metroidvania. I tried Dark Light. I wasn't a huge fan of how it felt, and a Metroidvania's got to feel great from moment one. It's got a 77% on Steam. That's not surprising. It doesn't have like roaring reviews anywhere, and I think some of it has to do with just how it feels. It looks really cool. Art direction is obviously stellar. No one could take away from its art direction, but it just doesn't feel great to be in the game. I didn't like the way that it felt from moment one. I need a Metroidvania to feel awesome. So Matt is putting in that OT this week. Thoughts on Towerborn? Towerborn feels too much like a mobile game to me. It just feels like this. I've never been a fan of like the grind where like go and do thing, come back to town, and your sword is now the same sword but blue. I don't know. And there was another one called Banner of the Spark that I was really looking forward to playing with Madam, both Towerborn and Banner of the Spark, and we ended up not liking them. They just felt like mobile games to me. There's something about the content loop that just doesn't vibe with me. Witchfire is very good. Witchfire is basically like Gothic Destiny meets Rogue. It's really, really good. So I would love for Witchfire to come to console. Witchfire is another good Rogue shooter, but unfortunately it's not on console. They do want to bring it to console eventually. Currently it's not. No Rest for the Wicked will likely hit 1.0 this year. I believe No Rest for the Wicked is going to hit 1.0 in console sometime this year. And I believe it's going to have co-op as well as difficulty settings. I kind of need two things in a game like that. I kind of need two things. I need the ability to play with Madam, and I need the ability to turn the difficulty down. So, Alter Mage is an immersive first-person spell-slinging adventure that combines Metroidvania world design and abilities with RPG elements. Am I following these guys, or was that an ad? Oh, that's an ad. I was like, I didn't think I was following these guys. Combat was fun. Combat was fun in Towerborn. I didn't dislike the combat in Towerborn. I thought it was fine. It and Linked or whatever, Banner of the Spark or whatever the frick, like, I don't know. There's something about the content loop that I'm like, I mentally check out pretty quickly. Hang on, I need to set up redirect. I don't think we're going to press on in 35 minutes. I think I'm just going to send you guys to Ginger. I think folks are just kind of getting tired of waiting, and I think that's totally fair. If it drops, it drops. I'll boot up and cover it. I'll make, new title and thumb. But I don't want to sit here after the Ginger after the podcast and just keep streaming. I myself am getting a little tired of having to carry conversation when we're trying to wait on GTA 6. It's and then we get off topic, and then it's bad to be in the funnel not talking about GTA 6 while waiting on GTA 6. It's not ideal. It's not a good move. So I prefer to be doing variety content and talking about lots of different topics, as I believe you guys do prefer that as well. It's hard to have the stamina to just keep talking about the GTA 6 situation and the theories and the trailers and the pre-order. Yeah, I would much prefer this thing to come out, for pre-orders to go live, and for us to get back to the daily multi-topic show. So, what was the first GTA you played? I did a sponsored GTA 5 stream. So, I've never been a big GTA guy. And I've had people take issue with that. I guess I shouldn't cover it if I was never a big fan of it. I feel like at least I'm being honest, as opposed to people that grift and claim to be fans of things that they're not. It's weird that honesty is not prized these days. I'm willing to give this one a shot and see if I like it, especially the Bonnie and Clyde vibe, and the gameplay could really be something that I end up vibing with and enjoying. How do we know for certain that the Best Buy leaks are legit? I don't think the official title would say GTA 6. Wouldn't it spell out the full title, Grand Theft Auto? It wasn't a Best Buy leak. The leak's been corroborated. It was a marketing agency known as Impact, and it is in fact real. There is a campaign for affiliates to use their link for people to pre-order GTA 6 physical. And it runs 18th to the 21st. It wasn't fake. It was in fact real. It's been corroborated. It wasn't like somebody just going for internet points. And it didn't necessarily say GTA 6. It said GTA 6, and in parentheses it had I think physical or something like that. And that would have been typed up by whoever entered in the campaign. Whoever worked at the company that put the campaign together. I'm not a big fan personally, but I feel like GTA 6 is such a monumental gaming event that not covering it feels like I'm burying my head. Well, there's a handful of problems, right? GTA is huge. Of course, you're going to cover it if you cover video games. That's exactly right. Wait, Risik, I missed your double dip. I'm so sorry. Risik with 11 months in the double dip. That's my bad, dude. I did not see that over there on purple. 767 on the week. It's like you're stuck because it's like everybody goes quiet and no one will talk. No one will announce anything. None of the marketing interviews, no news breaks like anywhere. Why? And it's because GTA 6 has everybody in a holding pattern. It's got the entire gaming marketing funnel in a chokehold. And so it's like, well, there's nothing to talk about anyway. Like, there's nothing to talk about anyway. There's nobody's doing anything. That's the dilemma we've been facing. It's like, well, we could boot up and try to force topics, but that's stupid too. I played it back in the day, and I know what I'm getting into. I'm interested in the game at a technical level, but I don't know if that's enough for me to spend money on it. Halo, no, sorry, I just got here. Did you talk about Marathon PvE? I did talk about it for a little bit. So, if so, I have to go back and check it out. I mean, I can give you the too long didn't read about Marathon and PvE. The first experimental mode is going to have a very light PvP. So my assumption is that it will likely be maybe you're competing with other players and not necessarily attacking each other. Or maybe there's like a specific moment where you might fight. I don't know. But then the full-on PvE mode that's going to come like halfway or later in the season, I just feel like it's too little too late. I'm going to definitely try it. I'm not... excuse me. I'm not trying to like diminish their efforts in their attempt here, but it's like, yeah, we all said this from day one, and we were told to be quiet, and we were told that we were bad and our bias and stupid. I don't know. The people who really like that game and really went hard defending that game, I really hope that they've developed a palate for crow, because they've had to eat crow virtually every week the game has been out. And boy, oh boy, is this another heavy dose of it. It's like, yeah, we literally said this 7 or 8 weeks ago, that you would need PvE for people to really want to play it. And now Bungie's basically admitting that if they want to expand the player funnel of this game and have it survive and be healthy, they need PvE. You know what I mean? And so it's, to me, it's like, it just feels like it's just going to show up too late. It's just like when the trailers, people are like, oh, but the morale's turning around, Lono. The morale's turning around. And I was like, nobody's watching the videos, bro. Like, nobody's watching the videos. The viewership's too low. Like, I feel like the same thing's going to happen here. It's going to be like, oh, you added PvE to that game? Yeah, we're good. I mean, we were all told to go play something else, so we all took your advice. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be spiteful or mean here. I'm just telling you what I feel like a lot of the reaction's going to be. It's like, okay. Also, here's the thing. It's an experimental mode. So by the time the game can be, like, fully enjoyed as a PvE fan, what, Season 3? I'm sorry, boys. I don't see it. Prove me wrong. Is I guess my stance here. Prove me wrong, Bungie. Prove me wrong. You know? Turn this ship around, get a big healthy player base, and let a bunch of people come and play your game and enjoy it. You know? I just don't think anyone at Bungie told you to go play something else. So when the first video came out from Joe Ziegler and he said literally that if that's what you're wanting, this isn't the game for you, he didn't tell me to go play something else. Do we need to go watch the video, Fuzzy? Like, I cover this game extensively. Like, the first video he put out, homie literally said, if that's what you want, that this isn't the game for you. He literally said it in the director thing. He's got a video on the Marathon YouTube channel where he said that. If PvE is what you're looking for, you should go play something else, essentially is what he said. Joe Ziegler, director, video, PvE, not the game for you. I'll try to find the quote. He literally said this. Let me try to find the quote. If you are only looking for PvE experiences, definitely Marathon is not the game for you. Joe Ziegler in like the first video. There we go. Took me 30 seconds. Yes, Bungie literally told me to go play something else from the beginning. Like, come on. He literally said it. If you're looking for PvE, if you're only looking for PvE experiences, definitely Marathon's not the game for you. And I was like, okay. I mean, what are PvE guys supposed to say when they see that? It's like, oh, okay, fine. We won't play your game then. Listen, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not faulting him for saying it. I'm saying, so then they added and you won't play it? No, you're putting words in my mouth. I've said multiple times a day I'm going to play it. Jiminy Christmas. You said you were good? You gonna gaslight me on this. This is not gonna go well. You know what I was doing when I said, yeah, I'm good. The context was I was voicing the public's disposition. It's something that I do. It's something that I do. I was speaking for the public. I take on a voice for the public, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. That's what people are gonna say. For Pete's sakes, the context of what I was just saying. Now you were speaking for the public? Nice reframe. I'm not reframing anything. I'm not reframing anything. I literally said that I feel like the public has moved on. It's too little too late. You said you were good? I was obviously speaking for the public. I was saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm so tired of discussing this with you because you're such a jerk about it. You get smarmy and snippy and nasty, and I've been super charitable, and you turn into such a jerk. It's like you can't just have a conversation about Marathon. You want to make it seem like I'm saying things I'm not saying. I was 100% saying for the public is going to have that posture and that attitude of like, yeah, I'm good. I wasn't saying for me personally. I've said multiple times, I will check it out. I will play it. It's like, we're going to test it. We're going to see what it is. But I said the problem is it's an experimental mode. You're not going to have like a full PvE playable game until like Season 3. And I like, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I'm good. That's what people are going to say. Like, I literally was speaking for the public. I was saying, I feel like the public's just going to move on. Like, you told us all to go play something else, and we did. I was speaking sort of in a broader way. And yes, I'm speaking for the public. It's easy to speak for the public in this regard. We can tell how the public responded to the game. They responded in a way where they said, you told us to go play something else. You told us the game wasn't for us. And so people took that advice and said, yeah, we'll go play something else then. They had an established PvE live service game for a decade, and the director of Marathon comes out and says, if you're looking for PvE experiences, definitely Marathon's not the game for you. Like, the mention of Marathon makes him Twitter out. Yeah, I don't understand. It was obvious what I was saying in that moment. And even me saying, yeah, I'm good, you're also putting words in my mouth. That's not me saying I won't play it. Me saying, yeah, I'm good, it's like, yeah, I'll come and check out your experimental mode. But if I can't play the full game and the full breadth of content PvE, if that's not even a possibility until Season 3, you're probably not gonna capture me as a player. You're probably not gonna get me in there as a committed player doing all the grind, doing all the things. You're just not. Like, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. I came and checked it out. It's fine. It's cool. But the ship has sailed for a lot of people. It's like, well, by then it's like, maybe I have something else I want to play. Maybe I have some other game that's captured my attention. A lot of people are probably, looking to, GTA 6 in November as the game they're going to play. It was obvious I was not saying, well, now that they're adding PvE, I'm not even going to play it. I wasn't saying that. You're completely repackaging what I was saying. When I said, yeah, I'm good, I was saying in general, it feels like it's just going to be too late. It's like by the time it shows up, halfway through the season, people are like, oh, wow, this is cool, but it's not the full game. So they're going to test it. But if there's going to be like a full PvE experience, it's unlikely to show up until like Season 3. You also imply that people who play the game and talk about it positively all say you have no skill, or that we're all being a piece of crap. So I just deliver on that notion. No, I don't. You're also no. I said the people that defended this game so hard kept telling me I had a bias. I've never once said fans of this game. I always qualify it and say, yeah, the people that defended this game so hard, they kept telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. Like, that was a consistent note from people that defended Marathon. He's referencing the vocal minority. Yeah, where's the charity here? Like, I'm not talking about you, and I'm not talking about the people that just like the game. I've never been like, the people that like Marathon were jerks to me. I'm like, the people that went so hard in the paint defending this game, they constantly came up with statements about, like, go play another game, get good, you have a PvE bias. It's like, well, and that's why I said, hopefully they're good at eating crow. Because now one more piece of the puzzle is landing well outside of what they said about this game. I'm not saying that with reference to people that are just like, yeah, I like Marathon, it's a fun game. Like, a lot of people never had a go at me and never told me that, like, my PvE bias was, like, blinding me or something. Yo, Darth Nihilus with 2 months. As much as I wish it were staying only PvP, I welcome a PvE mode if it makes the game bigger. Thank you for the renewal and the 10 bomb. You to homie. 778. I know that the very few people who are even still engaging with Marathon who are going to say we are good, that's also a vocal minority. The other side of the blade. I was making a general assumption, right, Fuzzy, that if you come in the middle of Season 2 as a PvE player, and PvE only is experimental, which what that communicates is you will not be able to play this entire game PvE. I think I'm pretty good at predicting player response here. I think players are going to say, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to come and beta test your PvE if I can't even play the whole game that way. You openly admit the public isn't paying attention, so the people who are paying attention are a tiny amount. Right, but there is a greater public that's going to hear word of mouth from their friends and stuff. There's the Destiny player base too, whether they're playing or have drifted. They're going to be like, oh, they're adding PvE to Marathon. Like, I think there are people that are going to catch wind of it, and they're going to be like, oh. But then, again, you come to the game and you find out it's experimental, and it's not the full game, and that if there is a full PvE experience in Marathon, it won't likely happen until Season 3. Yes, I think those people will likely say, I'm good. I'm not going to, I don't want to come in and test a mode. I want to play a PvE game. Like, this is the point that I'm making. If you're attempting to appeal to PvE players, they are not going to come test a mode. They're going to want to be able to play a PvE game. I believe they've missed that opportunity. If 2 weeks in they did this, the Destiny crew could have been like, hey, let's go check that out. That could be pretty cool. Why? They like guns. They like to grind for guns. They like to play games like this. Halfway through Season 2 and it's experimental, I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like I said, what did I say a little bit ago? Prove me wrong, Bungie. Turn the whole ship around. Get a bunch of people back in the game. Get it thriving. Prove me wrong. I'm always here to cheer for games having their turnarounds. Whether it's No Man's Sky or Rainbow Six Siege or even Crimson Desert. Do it. Turn the game around. Update the game. Make everybody happy. I will always celebrate that. I'm saying I feel like this is going to be too little too late. They've lost the public's eye. The handful of the PvE crowd that hear about this, the minute they realize it's experimental and they can't experience the full game PvE, they're going to say, yeah, that's not what I want. I don't want to come and test a mode for you. Don't worry, PvE players, I'll test the mode for you. I'll make the sacrifice, says the Cisco. Lona loves Bungie games. He feels like a lot of us do, that they dump their main player base in the bin with Marathon. As a business, you can't do that. Well, I don't necessarily think it that way, though. I think they were trying to build incubation projects because they wanted revenue bridges away from Destiny 3. They didn't want to do Destiny 3, and I've defended them in that regard. I understand a company not wanting to do that again. It was hard on the company. It was very difficult. it was very strenuous and stressful, and they had High Moon Studios, they had Vicarious Visions, they've switched owners like 3 times, right? I don't think they wanted to go on that merry-go-round again. So I completely understand internally saying, let's build bridges away from Destiny. I get that. I vibe with that. I understand that. It didn't work. It didn't work. So Marathon comes out, and it was meant to be like a thing that like helped them as a bridge away. Like multiple things were supposed to come out like this. I think the dilemma that they're facing is it's just too niche. It's too niche. If it was a niche offering alongside of Payback and Gummy Bear and like all these other niche offerings where like a lean team could kind of like curate a core audience, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But because it was like everything else basically got shelved and canceled or absorbed by Sony with LFG and Gummy Bear, it's like, okay, so Marathon's got to be that thing. It just isn't. It just isn't that thing. I also think there's something else at play with Marathon. I think they were trying to manipulate revenue and valuation for the final payout. That's what I think. There's a reason that internally at Bungie, there was a fear that they were going to ship Marathon and leadership was going to walk after they got their final payout. I think that fear was real. It was palpable, and it was because they were attempting to do one last thing, one last Bungie hurrah, resting on their brand's name, resting on their laurels. Yeah, from the makers of Destiny and Halo, here's Marathon, and they were hoping it would sell enough copies to generate revenue, to help with revenue and valuation, so their final payout from Sony was X number of dollars or whatever. And Sony's like, no, we're going to take an impairment loss on you twice to almost the tune of $800 million. You've been devalued by a third of what we saw you worth at purchase, which inevitably will probably affect that final payout. I think that's what's going on. And I think we're all stuck in the middle fighting about a game that feels like a chess piece on a chessboard. It doesn't feel like a genuine, it just doesn't feel, there's something about this that just has never felt right to me. It's never felt right. It feels, there's something so forced about it. And I get that people like it, and I get that you've had a good time. But Jiminy Christmas. I feel like I've been more than fair and charitable about this game, this topic, and this company. And I could have been petty and nasty, and I could have been, a jerk to all those people that liked it. I've said, it's like, I don't want to be like egotistical, I told you so, but it's like, it's really hard not to be like, man, I said this from the beginning. Like Bungie employees said this from the beginning. And yes, the director basically said, if you want PvE, this isn't the game for you. And I respect that. I do. I think a lot of people took him at his word and just decided, okay, yeah, that's great. And I think that partially is why some people were like, well, what about Destiny then? What about Destiny? If we're, Project Ants. Check this out. It looks really good. What am I looking at here? I'm fast forwarding. 3D Metroidvania that blends exploration, vertical platforming, and technical hack and slash combat. There's a 3-week-old trailer. It's literally a samurai ant. Project Ants. Oh, it's just an announcement trailer, so we have no idea platforms or release window. Oh, you can wishlist it on Steam. It might be at the Insider thing. Oh, like Insider Gaming? That's very fair and very foul, but those other guys were pushing people away from the game. Listen, at some level, I don't even fault the players that were being that way. I don't. Think of it from their perspective. Let me take up for some of these guys that were like, get good, go play something else. Let me take up for them. When the director of the game comes out and says, if you're looking for PvE only experiences, this isn't the game for you, okay? It makes sense that fans of the game were like, shut up already about PvE, go play something else. Get good or get out. I get it. They were basically like, this guy told you. The director of the game told you that this game wasn't for you. They probably felt like they were constantly dealing with that. Why? Well, you've got 12 years of Destiny fans saying, why the frick did you make a game with no PvE? I mean, Bungie employees were saying it. So there was immediate contention in the air. It was just a recipe for fighting. It was like the fans of the game that wanted the game to be the thing were like, why are all you guys asking for PvE? The director said not to play the game if you wanted PvE. It was a recipe for contention. You had over a decade of Destiny fans that were like, Bungie, what are you doing? And then you had people that were like, I actually vibe with this. I think this is cool. Play the game or get out of here. That's why it got so tribalistic from the beginning. So to those guys' credit that like Marathon and they got a little snippy and they got gatekeepy and they got nasty, I get why they did. They were like, hey, well, you finally made something for us. Can you PvE guys shut the frick up and go away? Like, I totally get it. I do. My analysis was always, you need broad appeal if you want to be successful as a live service game, and you guys spent a lot of money on this. This was a bad idea. Mine was never, make the game for me, Bungie. Come on, Bungie. Why didn't you make the game for me? That was never, ever, ever my point. It was always, boy, oh boy, you guys have set this game up to fail. That's why I made a video last year saying this is a recipe for failure. It's a niche live service game that you're charging $40 for, and you're actively telling people that it's intense and it's not a game for everybody. Good golly. Just make the most narrow funnel live service game in the history of live service games, and everyone's like scratching their head like, I wonder why there's only 6,000 people playing right now on Steam. It's like, well, because that's the game. That's the game that you made. That's the game. That's the game that you made. You know what I mean? It's very narrow. It's very narrow. And I will 100% test the PvE. I will try it out. I will talk about it from my perspective as a Bungie guy, as a Destiny guy for all those years. I will bring my insight and ideas to bear. But I think it's just going to be too little too late for most folks. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Like I said, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So many games have had these turnaround moments and they've really dug in and they've really worked. You know, Rainbow Six Siege. You know, earlier this week, Colin Moriarty was like, that's what they should do. He disagreed with me that it's just a non-starter. I think the game is on its way out. I just think you're losing people too quickly. He's like, no, I think they should back it. I think they should invest in it. He's like, maybe I'm biased. You know, my two co-hosts really like the game. So, I know there are people that have been totally chill and nice and kind, and they play the game and they enjoy it, right? And, you know, and Fuzzy gets prickly with me on it, and I was like, I don't know why we're doing this. Like, that's why I told you. I was like, I don't know why you're getting that way with me. I know some of you guys get prickly about it, but, you know, it feels like, you know, I don't know, homie, you died to the bots in the tutorial. I don't think playing the PvE mode is a good call. Might want to just say, yeah, I'm good. Shut up. Shut up. Once I had a decent gun and ammo, I killed like 21 of the bots in the one round because it told me I needed to kill like 15 of them or something. I killed like 21 because sometimes there's parts of the map where they're really manipulatable. Like once I figured out how to manipulate them, was like, oh, this is actually pretty straightforward. And to be clear, there is a part of me that is going to probably say, yeah, I'm good. Until the game has got a full, complete offering of PvE, I'll play it. I'll test it. We'll have an incentive. Madam and I will play it. I'll set up 2 monitors in here, and Madam and I will play some Marathon PvE for you guys once it's here. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to have to be a pretty significant and substantive turnaround for me to be like, yo, Marathon's in the cycle with me. I mean, wouldn't that be a wild turn of events? If all of a sudden we're regularly covering Marathon and I'm playing it and we're reading blog posts again. Like, you understand that that'd be good for me. You understand that those daily debates, discussions, blog reads, videos would be pretty dadgum good for me I don't think it's happening, boys. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that. No, I'd love it. It'd be great. It'd be such a wild turn of events. You know? Oh, here comes Lono. You know, covering a Bungie game on a regular basis again. How the tables have turned. It's hard for me to see that road. It really is hard for me to see that road for the game. Every day until we get it, GTA 6 trailer. I'm going to do it for the rest of the year, Yelgler. That's right. Is it today? Is it today? Is it Jimmy Shanker Day? Oh, my golly. Yeah, there's the right gif. Out of the way, I'm gay. Yeah. Sometimes I forget. I'm like, this sassy son of a gun. I'd be excited. I really enjoy the game and want more reasons to play it. We would come full circle. Homie, I have a very vested and personal reason for how great that would be. Do you know how the tears would be worth it? The tears would be worth it. Lono covered a Bungie game. The tears. It would be glorious. GTA 6 getting delayed again. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh. It's our quota. I gotta have a once a week spat with Fuzzy about friggin' Marathon. You know? We gotta hit our weekly dadgum quota. You would muddy the water with your PvE propaganda? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd make a lot of money doing it, TJ. I'll tell you something, TJ. Yeah, me and Lona once a week. Yeah, F you and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll tell you something, TJ. Part of me wants them to do this and for it to become a fixture in the game just so you can be wrong again. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain people I relish being wrong because they kind of deserve it. They kind of ask for it. And you're one of them. You're one of them, brother. Oh, frick. I'm like, yeah, dude. Can't wait for TJ to come by the show today. Where are you? Huh? Where are you? Oh, my gosh. All right, lock him up. That's right. In about 5 minutes, we're going to be heading over. To the show with Ginger. If the trailer lands today, we will boot back up and we will react to it. If it doesn't land today, I'm just gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be here Monday. You know where we're gonna be. You know what it is. You know what it is, boys. We'll be back here Monday, waiting for the dadgum trailer and the preloads. Okay. So, what's the weekly member count? 778. So, we need some good incentives for tonight and tomorrow for stretch. The next stretch goal will be 1,000. If you guys want to make it painful for me or frustrating for me, to do, tonight is Directive 8020. Tomorrow is Madden playing Destiny 1. If you guys have fun ideas, we can definitely do it. Dig up. What are you saying, Rope? Mark your calendars. Insider Gaming Showcase starts May 28th at 3 p.m. 55 games, 12 world premieres. Yep. We'll be co-streaming that. We will be co-streaming that. So. Okay, I don't like to make... You can't talk during the Destiny stream. Oh my golly. I don't like to make those fine gentlemen over there wait, and I also want to make sure I have time to do a break. So let's just do this. What is it? Is it Raid? It's Ginger Prime TV? Is that the channel on Twitch? I can't remember. I think we rated it last time. I think it's Ginger Prime TV. And a 5 bomb from Too Thirsty. Boom, at the buzzer. 783. I think I owe you guys some members. I'll do that. I'll do that tonight. If I owe you, I'll add it up. I think I owe you like 2 or 3. I may just do a 5 bomb tonight to celebrate. Okay, so let me raid over there. All right, we're gonna raid Ginger Prime on Twitch, and then hang on 1 second. Here we go, Gaming Roundtable. All right, and then you guys on YouTube, I'll redirect you. And Broken Earth does one as well. What are you guys doing? I'm trying to leave, and you're gifting. And then I'll redirect you guys as well. And another one from Broken Earth. There it is, a nice 785 to end the day on. You guys can go crazy tonight. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe they'll drop the dadgum trailer, and I'll be back, and we'll be live, and we'll react to it. All right? There's a link in chat. Head on over to the show. I'm going to be over there with the boys chopping it up. King David's going to be there. I have some words for him, like good afternoon and hello. But no, it should be good. We might have a little bit of a debate over there today, so I'll see you guys over there.